Yes, welcome to Keep the Morning. Trevor Carson, how are you, mate?
Good, mate, good. Delighted to be here. Massive fan of the show, and
what a guy.
Yeah, you know, Slaney's a big favourite in our household. My missus is very fond of him.
Your missus does
cool.
like
She
him.
does,
Stop
mate,
lying. What does she like about him?
Meet her tonight.
No, not today, mate. Nah.
You've got nothing to worry about if you meet your missus, mate. Believe me, bring
The
it.
least guy mate should ever.
Nah, but you boys have got me through plenty of journeys down to Newcastle and back up listening to you. So, no, honestly, delighted to be here.
So wait, can I just get this right? Do you sit in the house and watch this with your missus?
We have done, mate.
He's ever...
To be fair, no offence to you
watching it?
boys, but it's usually Slaney's best bets. Like, that's the favourite in our house. So,
Amazing.
watching some.
Did you watch the Russell Anderson one, Mir?
The what one?
The Russell Anderson one?
Watch that with your missus, mate. He's gonna love that.
That'll end it.
I played with Big Ross, mate. Good guy.
I'm sure I was meant to do a podcast with him. I just came on
At the start?
I just came on Open Goal, and you were doing a podcast. I think it was a couple of weeks later, and I had just missed it.
I genuinely think you... I'm not just saying this for... I genuinely think you cancelled that morning because you got a spot on your face. I can remember it.
I think it was something like that.
Serious?
And there's a spot
I can remember doing
so I
it.
could have cancelled again today.
How's life at Dundee, mate? Good?
It's good, mate. Obviously,
Beautiful place, mate, innit?
it is, mate. It's got its ups and downs, like, but it's we're as a family we're settled up there, and
What's the downs?
really the downs. I don't know, mate. You put me on the spot.
Just because it's Dundee, I wanted him to hammer that.
You should have said Dundee United half.
You tell us what's the downs.
About Dundee? I love Dundee, mate. I've no negatives to say about Dundee. I'm hoping one day to get the
What's the
keys to
pub?
Dundee.
What's the pub?
Charlie Adams probably one of the downs, isn't it? Fact that Charlie's there's probably one of them.
What's the big bar that everybody goes to on Saturday night?
The Trades is the best bar in Britain.
Trades?
There you
No,
go.
Super
Fat
Fat
Sam's,
Sam's.
aye.
Fat Sam's is no more. You ever gone to Fat
No, I've
Sam's?
never been.
Hey, done a wee bit in
I
there.
think Cassa's the spot now.
Young
Cass is good.
Cassa's the spot.
But Dundee's amazing, mate.
You must-
Perth Road.
You must be
Aye.
up there with the biggest thing that's came out of Dundee, no?
Say so, I had probably.
Probably about now.
Top 5.
Me. Who else is for Dundee?
You were
Charlie Adam.
fucking.
Bobby Lynn, Charlie Adam.
You were some player at Dundee, but weren't you? Oh. In fact, you had a mullet. One of these very memories.
Wee fat guy with a mullet, mate. Oh, terrible up there. Terrible up there.
Here, boys, just to say, I'm only literally just back an hour with Barca.
It looks like it as well.
Oh, mate, I'm absolutely shattered. 1 hour sleep. We travelled through the night, flew to Belfast, connection flight, just made it literally just in time, and then go to here. So if I'm
How was your trip, wee mate?
Don't give too much away, but he's a wee rundown.
No, it's already been out.
Oh, so it is that good time.
Come on, play the game, Andy boy.
Sorry,
so it was amazing, but we missed our trait. So as I said, I want to make this take this so serious and professional. I want the joking side taming it almost, just tame it down a wee bit. So the joking comes at the start, and then it's more serious. So we done a lot on Barcelona the first part, and then the second part was to be in Girona, but we missed the early train to get us into Girona, so we just made kick-off just in time. So for all the people that live in Girona, all the fans, you are close to my heart, but we didn't.
Sam North would never have missed that.
No way.
He'd have made sure he was on that train.
He'd have been the day before.
He'd have been there the day before.
He'd have hired a motor and everything, just in case.
With Girona stickers on the side.
What an experience, mate. Again, what an experience.
You're doing alright, wee man, aren't you?
I'm just going to keep on.
Any pet peeves while you're away? Anything that annoyed you? Except for the lack of activity. Was that another quiet one for the wee man?
Another quiet one. The Barca, the Catalonians haven't taken to the wee man. They certainly haven't. They're no fond of him at all.
You had to get his own passport.
To the shoot they want the wee man out.
Do it for passport photos, didn't you?
Passport control, they want his own one, don't they? That's small again. But it was a cracking. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Did you get best access again, or?
No,
Sam Northwood again.
No, the reason for it was because it's only a 13,000 stadium, so I mean it was 13,000.
And then the Champions League.
Aye. It's
It's
just
like
the
junior
City
team,
group came in and really got them going. But I think they will struggle this season because they've lost a lot of their top players for last year. I don't know if they replaced them. But sorry, the media access, there was genuinely it was so small. So it was only maybe.
What was so small? Must have suited that. Should have said
That's why I never get in. But the media access, so it was only maybe. It genuinely looked like 6 or 7 probably your locals and maybe your main Spanish media outlets. But as they think is the filler we're going on and the views that we're going to hit and the people we're going to hit, then
you're going to go some big places, aren't you?
There's no going to stop us getting into media.
Just talking about cities, you were in Stockholm, mate, beautiful, innit?
Loved it.
What did you like about the mist?
How clean it was, Very well dressed, isn't he? Very well dressed, the Scandies.
You're looking a bit Scandi today, is it? You've taken a wee bit of inspiration.
100% inspiration.
The best
I
I've
wouldn't
seen him
even
since
joke.
I've met him today.
Nah, you're looking well, ain't you?
You know, I love theme parks and all, didn't I? They've got the theme park in the middle of the city. Did you go to that?
No.
Oh, brilliant, mate.
How long's it been there? I went my honeymoon, it was like 10, 11 years
I
ago.
don't know, to be honest, but...
Done some riding that week, man, eh?
Did you?
No, you never.
Is it expensive?
One
Andy?
out of 7 nights.
Mate, do you know what? I was saying this, like, see, because it's no euros, it's like Swedish krones,
Aye.
and it's a cashless city. Can't pay cash, anything, so everything's
See?
like, can tap them your Apple Pay. I couldn't even tell you what anything was when I
Aye.
went, do you know what I mean? So you get a coffee like 200 krones.
We were
Okay,
going to go.
so-
I couldn't even about $3,000 for all, you know. You're like,
Aye.
oh,
Me and the
brilliant.
missus were going to go next international break, but a few people have said it's dear, like, so.
No,
Who
it
was it,
was
you
a proper
enjoy it?
cool place, aye.
Did you say
Really
Matt
enjoyed it.
Fitz?
No.
You need to get to that stage.
Will you
used to.
be an influencer as your career sort of?
I think so. I've not even got social media, how could be an
No,
influencer?
but I think you, if, as you're,
I might grow into that phase.
you've got that
Aye,
type
maybe,
of
aye.
thing.
I think you should.
Trev, what about your favourite place holiday to go to, mate? Any recent ones you've been on you've loved?
To be fair, mate, we went to Turkey in the summer there. I was always sceptical about going to Turkey. It wasn't really something that appealed, but we took the kids in the summer. It was actually amazing, like, really good.
Obvious question to that, but you bring that back.
That was a few years ago, mate. That was a few years ago.
Was
I'm
that Turkey?
I went Turkey, mate.
For that?
Aye.
Did you?
I was gone, mate, completely gone. And I think
Didn't
we
we
played
win?
it. We played at Tynecastle. I've still a bit of salt and pepper in it. I keep it ticking, but
Don't mind that.
Nah, it's
we
like-
played at Tynecastle, mate, and I was getting, what was it, Carson, you alopecia bastard was one of the shouts. So that was the final nail for me, mate. It was the final nail, so I had to go to Turkey, mate. And
I hope you didn't take this wrong, right? I played you, what, about 7, 8 years ago? 9 maybe?
more than that.
You look miles better now, mate.
Yeah. Was it horrendous?
When you first walked in, I think he's quite ugly, man, but now you look fucking, now you look
Cheers,
good.
mate. I'll
Good,
take
doesn't he?
that.
Looks good, doesn't he?
I'll take that.
You're looking great. Any pet peeves, Trev? Any pet trees, Pev?
I'm like you, so I'm miserable. I've got everything annoys me, mate. But one recent one, I'm going to throw one of the lads under the bus here, but see, loud eaters, mate.
Oh, eating's a big thing, mate.
And
No,
I'll say it here because I'm too scared to say it to his face, and I'm hoping he doesn't watch this. But big Curtis, mate, I sat beside him on the bus on the way home from Digwall, mate. The roughest 20 minutes of my life, listening to him eating a pizza, mate. It was horrendous, just chewing loads and that. And as I say, I haven't said to his face, so.
What does he have on his pizzas, Curtis, man? Steak pie?
Veggie,
Steak
mate.
pie pizzas?
Big Manos, and he's a
Is he
veggie,
veggie?
mate. Pure veggie,
I
aye.
played with Curtis, man.
Whereabouts? Middlesbrough, aye.
Mate, he looks like he could punch fuck out
Mate.
people.
You're not saying a word to you. I can't believe you've just said
If
that.
I have a black-eyed Ibrox on Saturday, you know why now, mate, if he's seen this, so he'll not be
he's
happy.
doing you. Any used pet peeves this week?
People that drive by you and shout abuse as they pass you.
This was amazing.
Okay,
Me and
I didn't
Andy-
mind that. I quite like
Me
it.
and Andy went
Oh,
for a
but it's brilliant.
we just nipped out there for a wee bite to eat, walking along the bars and somebody shouted, "Want to fucking sell it, get it fucking up."
Well, I'm a Motherwell fan.
What about that? You don't know he plays fucking support Celtic?
Oh, but he's just used to be done it.
I remember Big Charlie done that. When we were at United, we were driving past Dan's and we were playing Dundee at the weekend, and I think Dundee at the time met at Dan's and then travelled to wherever they trained, and Cummins was getting in his car. Charlie wound down the window and it was him and Sparky in the front, and Sparky shouted out, "Damn, you're fucking getting it on Saturday." Cummins lost it, mate, started chasing the car up Dan's road, mate, went mental.
Did he know it was Charlie?
I knew it, man. Hey, knew it was
And he never
Sparky.
took it as a laugh?
No, I never took it as a laugh, mate. Took it serious. But you know what Cummins is like, mate. He might just like done it,
Clueless.
but he was like, run out, you're fucking this and that. Aye, so it was brilliant.
That'd be
mate.
some fight to watch.
Jason Cummins
I'd love to see Cummins
Just slap each other.
What were you saying there?
He's saying that, but I've got a pet peeve. It's roadworks again.
Oh,
Coming up, mate, I'm shit. This is the worst I've ever been in my motor. I'm fucking screaming and I'm bashing my horn, right? Coming Old Road right now, Denniston's a fucking disaster, mate, right? With temporary traffic lights, right? And
how bad are temporary traffic?
But there's always this thing like people go, oh, they're not actually not doing fuck all, but they actually are in the, because as I'm getting closer to the lights, I'm seeing two guys standing at the traffic lights for when the light turns green, the two of them go like that.
Aye.
What the fuck? Of course we're going to go when it turns green.
Aye, I know.
Get fucking down the roads.
Aye,
I know.
calm down. That.
Other thing as well, this needs to stop. I was going to say this earlier on in the season because it was festivals in the summer. See that Here We Fucking Go in Scotland, that needs to stop.
Oh my God, mate.
That needs to stop.
That could be the best pet peeve anyone's ever brought up. I fucking hate that.
Here we,
No. I'm
Here we
against it.
fucking
I
go.
fucking love that.
You're the
I know
type
what
of
he's,
guy.
I know what he's,
Aye,
I know what
yeah.
he's getting really bad for the now.
Clean up to the people.
I'm for a scheme like I do that as well. Aye, you do, mate.
And
All the time.
that's one of my pet peeves.
No, but you're the worst for it.
No, I like.
So do you sing Here We Fucking Go when you're at a gig or a festival?
Like a
It's pure
festival.
shite.
At the festival, I love it, mate. At a festival.
I'd rather get a cup of piss flung on me than sing Here We Fucking Go.
And it, like weddings and that, people do weddings, mate.
Ooh,
Parties.
what's that? Who came up with that?
That's magic.
What the fuck's that?
That's fucking brilliant. You're not enjoying
Is it
yourself.
so what?
People see people come from abroad, they must be like so confused, like,
I know.
You are spot on. No, Andy, with that, with the scheme. I know with me, mate, you've got that right. But say with the scheme, man, I think Scousers fucking love that, playing up to that.
Aye, people are for schemes, right?
came for schemes?
Remind
No, they
people
play
all the time they're for schemes. It's like, fucking hell, man, who cares?
Aye, we are.
Aye.
Right, just quickly, I went,
He's done it already.
Yeah, look, that was for the chopper. I was on a helicopter in Barcelona.
put it on then.
No, so I bought it to go in the helicopter. It was too tight.
Did you go in the helicopter?
Aye.
That's in the vlog?
Amazing,
Class.
unbelievable.
That's something I think that would scare me a wee bit.
Can you do the
Like a- like
helicopter with that?
Nah, hot urban.
That's not capable of doing
Oh
a
my god,
helicopter.
done that, mate.
Did you?
How
Does it?
scary.
She's, we're going to Paris now, and the next thing, and she wanted to go on a hot urban, and I was like, not a...
Oh, mate, you're in a basket fucking...
Aye.
You're literally in a big basket fucking millions of feet in the sky. Hot air balloon.
Mate, we went on a roller coaster in, where were we in the summer? Where did I go with Steph? So Portugal. And it was a water park, mate. We went on it was like a water park roller coaster, but it was tiny, mate. Mate, it's slowly going up. I looked in, she's greeting. Starts greeting, because we were going high.
Aye.
And mate, bursting into tears. A woman next to us like, you're all right. I'm like, what's up with you, man? Greeting on a fucking
Is this
water
Steph?
park. Steph, greeting.
No, but
And the reason about that was, well, she's pulled me up for the fucking ex. Obviously, she doesn't watch this, but she's doing a wedding Saturday, and the woman was like, pissing myself laughing at the side, talking about you, and she's like, what? What did you say? But the room was full. She's like, I'm sitting doing people's makeup, and somebody's sitting there going like, he hates when your legs are hairy. She's like, my face has never went so red in my fucking life. In the motor, she said it to us as well. I was like, oh,
I thought when you
no.
said that was a badge, mate. Shouldn't have went.
Aye, I did. I thought that was fucking...
I wouldn't take
funny
that.
though.
I wouldn't take that bad.
What else have you got for her now? What's your pet peeve on Steph right now?
Off. I don't know. Have you got a pet peeve of your missus? No, it's an ick, it's called, isn't it?
Oh, an ick, sorry.
And then I was like, but Gillian got slotted for doing 2 stairs at a time. She's like, 2 stairs at a time compared to fucking hairy legs? None. What about you with your missus, wee man? Any icks?
Wish she controls the ball.
Just had some amazing food on Saturday. I want to get your opinion on this. Just a wee
Also
last
that.
foodie thing. Went to Capal Saturday night and I had Frank yesterday, which was amazing. But at Capal, we got like a shared menu, so it was just to brought out hundreds of dishes for the 4 of us. Steak tartare, for or against?
Against.
Oh mate, I love it.
By a country mile, aye.
Do you
One of
hate
the
it?
worst things in the world. You would take that.
What is steak tartare?
Like,
Oh, he's kidding on face. Scheme.
glad
We didn't
you
get
asked
that in the
that.
scheme.
No, he
We
doesn't
didn't
know
get
idea.
steaks.
He doesn't know
So
idea.
it's uncooked steak.
aye,
Oh,
cold
no,
meat,
no.
mate.
No, I would
No.
like that. I would like that.
Would you, mate?
I would like that.
No, terrible.
Why do you think you'd like that?
I quite like cold meats.
No, it's not
No,
like
it's
Billy
not,
Bear.
it's no
mate.
fucking aye, it's no Billy Bear meat.
It's no Billy Bear, mate. It's like steak.
It's no honey ham.
Honey roast.
Wafer thin ham. It's
You
not
only
that, mate.
he only likes it because it smells of farts when you open the packet.
30 slices of ham for
Oh, mate.
40 pence.
Mate, you're spot on. It does smell like farts, doesn't it?
It stinks, man, doesn't it? What is it your dad does when uncooked chicken again?
No, his dad drives a hot air balloons. He just puts his arse at the bottom of the balloon. He puts a basket under
Give us a wee track, come on, give us a
I'm
wee
just
track.
trying to be
Show Trev. Trev's never seen you play show something.
This boy's famous now. That was the one that you obviously you haven't seen the vlog yet, but that was the one we were popping at 1-2 all the way down La Rambla. I think
Oh,
that's
what with randoms?
mate, but we got so far down, just getting round people round poles, and the final woman done a lovely wee back heel right in the middle
Is you a bird?
and the taxi nearly whacked right into me. But we went so far down, so this is legendary. There's people in it.
Just quickly, because we are many people, fans, pet peeves, similar to you, but it's when you're on the phone. It was Adam Kennedy. No, sorry, this is Kevin McElhenney. When you're on the phone to somebody and they start eating, would that do your tits in?
That wouldn't
That wouldn't
bother
bother me either.
Nah.
He's like, he actually sent a voice note rage and you're on the fucking phone to start eating, how rude.
No, I didn't.
That wouldn't bother me.
Nah, I'm the same, wouldn't bother
Nah.
me, you.
Nah, it would bother me.
I'm not a big phone person, anyway. I'm more text.
I'm the same.
No, I'm the opposite. I'm not a great texter.
No?
I don't
People
have
that phone you and have got fuck all to say, you're the worst
Aye.
people in the world.
You're a nightmare for
Didn't answer my phone.
I've just had Tony Watt on the phone there, and you're thinking, what have you rang me for, Tony? Like, we're just talking rubbish. Like,
So you've just seen him that day and
No,
then
I've been texting him this morning. And then he rings us and I'm just talking about the exact same thing we were texting about, the games of the weekend, and you're like...
The worst is when somebody phones you don't speak.
Aye.
And you're the one
They've got
that
nothing
keep
to say.
on
Aye.
bringing conversation. You're
Conversation.
thinking, well, you're the one that's phoned me.
Brutal. And then Adam Kennedy's wrote, when you meet somebody and they say, hello stranger.
Oh, aye. I'm on board with that.
What, you hate that?
Aye.
Yeah.
Especially if you've seen them 4 days ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've seen them 4 days ago and they give you a hello stranger a few days after. I like that.
That would never come to my mind to say that to somebody, hello stranger, would you?
Nah.
No, probably not.
That wouldn't
No,
work.
but
Just hey, I just say hey.
Hey,
Hey.
H-E-Y. Hey.
what are you picking on your face?
No, just... Yeah. Mate, it was a badgering Saturday for you, wasn't it? I
Aye,
didn't expect
well-
it. I didn't see that coming.
Nah,
That
mate.
result, mate.
No, we weren't great, to be honest. It wasn't a great game overall, but I think the early goals spooked us a bit, and you know, I think we chased the game too early, if you know what I mean. We went maybe back to front too early, and it just wasn't a great all-round performance. And but yeah, it's.
You said we made a cracking start though, mate, hadn't you?
We've done well. I mean, we've been unbeaten in all the cup games, and then the 4 league games we played. It's been a good positive start, and then you know, obviously a disappointment of losing Lucky and a decent performance off the back of that against St Mirren. But listen, it wasn't what we wanted on Saturday, but the good thing, what we've created, you know, up there last season, I think we didn't lose more than 2 games in the bounce. So, you know, we'll be disappointed, but we'll not dwell on it.
We are going to go into Luke McCown later on, but see him leaving, is it a massive blow in the dressing room?
Yeah,
Feel it around the boys?
of course, mate. Like, listen, great guy, and the gaffer called him a little social guy. He was the one that organised the nights out and days out, whatever. He was a fine guy, and you know, he's a big character in the dressing room. On top of
Has he
that,
fucked off with the fines? 100%.
No, to be fair, mate, I made sure he transferred, because we had a night out after that game that he had left on the Thursday, I think it was, and we played St Mirren on the Saturday, and we had a team night out that Saturday night, so I made sure that was straight in the...
Was that the first thing you said to him after you signed for Celtic, get that money
I
in my
didn't even
account?
congratulate him, mate. It was just no, but listen, he'll be a big miss, and but we wish.
But you said that the boy, you don't want to hype anybody up, but the boy you've got on loan's very good. And so is Josh Mulligan's good as well.
We've got so many good young players, and especially midfielders. But the boy Sammy Braybrooke that's come up from Leicester, and you obviously see him in training every day. You can see his class. But you know, he done well against St Mirren, and you know, it might take a wee bit of time to adapt the Scottish game. You know, coming from the England Reserve League, I think you call it now. It'll be a bit different, but you know, he's got loads of ability.
Tony Dock's done really well as well, hasn't he? What a job.
Aye, we always talk about how well he's recruited, and
Recruitment's massive, Andy, you're right.
I think that's massive with any manager, you know, the recruitment, and I think, you know, he's done. I've heard you speak, Andy, about boys getting boys in that have done well in the league, and you know, I think that's, you know, he has done that, and you know, we've got a good dressing room. I think it's hard in this league because for us last year, success was finishing top 6. It was a successful season, but you look back, you lose more games than you win. So it's having a good dressing room that after a defeat like Saturday, for example, you know, it's not the end of the world. You come back in Monday and you work hard again, and getting the right people in the dressing room sort of allows for that. And you know, as I say, last season we never went on a 2, 3, 4 game win or defeats in a row. So you know, it's massive, and you know, so yeah.
you said to be fair, saying, didn't you, when you were in the dressing room for the darts, you said they thought it was a brilliant atmosphere, didn't you?
That's because I wasn't there that day, wasn't it?
But you did say Killie's was better.
Did he?
Killie probably just at that time, just slightly, I should edge it, but probably...
Might change now.
Probably.
Might change now, they're fining people 2 weeks away.
Wait, just that's done now, innit?
Heads are gone.
No, but they were honestly, they were brilliant. Can't say what they were playing on the telly, but
That was genius.
that was incredible. But what a group of boys. And I think you can tell, obviously, listen, it's a lot more, obviously, the style of playing, tactics, and of course that's important, but you can tell when you go into like a group like Kilmarnock or a Dundee, you can see with the spirit they've got how well they do.
So with that in mind, St Johnstone will be in League 2 in a cut out.
They should go out existing. Fuck me.
Amazing. Right, well, I'm going to come on to Dundee as well, but going to start with Rangers against Dundee United. Ended United's 8-game unbeaten run. What did you think of the game? Did you watch it?
Aye. Didn't think it was spectacular, but I thought it was really comfortable. I thought Rangers were good first half.
First
Started
25
very
minutes,
well,
really
aye.
What
Started
was Rangers?
Playing,
Were they?
Aye, played
on the
it,
ball.
but, you know,
But United
I know they do this when they
6-yard
when they
box.
do it well, but played at pace, played at a tempo. I thought all the sort of key players in attacking areas all started the game really well. Lawrence had a really good first sort of 20-25 minutes, but Dundee United, I thought were all over the place shape-wise. He just left so many gaps, and I actually think they never got many opportunities to get up the pitch, but any time Dundee United did get up the pitch and lost the ball, Rangers looked at scoring, didn't they, within 20-25 seconds. And then fair play to Jim Goodwin, he makes a early, what seemed like a tactical change shape, change personnel. And I thought they were a bit better, but never felt that Dundee United were going to score watching it. It never really felt as if...
Was it the right left winger? Trapanovsky. He was probably the one guy that looked a wee bit dangerous, didn't he, at times, 1v1, he came in and had a couple of shots, but I agree, mate, never looked
like Dundee United's first shot and goal was 60 minutes.
Yeah. Were you surprised that they didn't make Mary a go at it?
Do you know what's one of my pet peeves in football? Dundee United centre half done it on Sunday. Dundee United playing 5 at the back, right? So back 3. Well, one centre forward. Tom Lawrence is into the 10 and not one of them. Not one of the 3 centre backs were jumping into Tom Lawrence. Got 4 midfield players sitting in front of them. Tom Morris behind Dessers up. How many times Rangers just played balls into Tom Lawrence? The goal comes
from Lawrence, and I think it was the second half, it almost similar, a wee bit lucky by Ricochet, but then he should probably score it, Lawrence. I think his side fits it out of the bar. He should score it, so probably, as you said, that it maybe comes for that no jump onto him.
I like the fact that Dill played on the left, he's left footed, didn't he? Played on the right side, he was coming inside the pitch and it allowed the calf to go higher. I think that worked really well for Rangers. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, as you say, first 25, I thought, it's a bit what you expect from Rangers. They were playing fast, playing forward, and they looked a threat every time they went forward. But as Andy says, like when Goodwin makes that change, I think it's brave to do that. Like what was it?
Because Holt was raging, wasn't he?
He wasn't happy, was he? But but it changed the game in terms of it stopped the flow of Rangers. It definitely did. But I don't think there was any point where you thought Rangers were under any sort of threat. Dundee had maybe sustained pressure, sustained possession of the ball, but they never really, can't remember what they make.
They even had like Dundee had about 6 or 7 corners, first man every time.
That was them, my tits.
The first time they put in one good corner, it's probably their best chance of the game. It was great. Their actual set piece delivery, every sort of opportunity they had.
Surprised Dill did start. Did him and Lawrence did
Tierney was ill.
How did they both do?
Do you know who was good, mate? I thought for the first 25, especially Barron.
I thought Barron was Rangers'
See how many times passed him, because you get Peter on that sitter role that just goes centre back, Barron, centre back. He's actually opening his body up and he's finding.
He's so sharp, isn't he?
He's really good.
He's done really well, hasn't he, since he's went in, mate? And I think he's good at picking up, being in the right position as well, picking up second balls, and he gets to attack. He is, mate. He's good, but I like Jeffy as well. I thought he looked.
I thought he was
done alright, Jeffy, didn't he?
Yeah,
I thought him and Cortez worked quite well the first half. Was Cortez injured?
I don't know. Was quiet, to be fair. I thought real positives individually for Rangers was Barron, Jeffy and John Souttar. I think John Souttar started the season well. I think
stepping into the game.
And he's on it. He looks top drawer, doesn't he, when he's stepping in, and he looks real player.
And then I think any Rangers fan, you're sort of looking to try and get positives to the start of the season where you can, and you don't want to get carried away, but the boy Agamami's best player in the world. Jesus Christ.
How good is he with his chest, by the way? Bringing the ball down with his chest.
He looked really good when he came on, I thought. And listen, it's been 2 15-minute cameos he's had, but
he's looked good,
you could see when he came on,
wee bit of Morelos about him, doesn't he?
That same sort of stature.
Powerful, really powerful.
He looks to me like he could play off a side as well.
Well, I think he came on against Celtic off the side.
I'd like to see him on that, because he's left-footed, isn't he? Is he right-footed?
No, right-footed.
Is he right-footed? Well, he looks good too, doesn't he? I'd like to see him on that right-hand side.
Good win that for Rangers, but though, I know Dundee have just come up, but they've started the season really well, especially going to Tannadice the atmosphere. That's an important win.
I think after the Old Firm game as well, I think at Rangers and Celtic you need performance and results. But after the Old Firm game 2 weeks ago, the result was the only thing that mattered. So I think just getting 3 points, clean sheet, and obviously move on to next.
You don't want to be too critical of Jim Goodwin because he had done well this year, but the fact that Rangers did get beat 3-0, kind of in turmoil, you think, go and get after. This is what a chance this is at home to go and get after Rangers. Strange decision to go and sit
the first 10 seconds of the game, I remember it. Not 10 seconds, but certainly first minute of the game. There was one where the ball sort of ricocheted into the middle of the pitch and Barron got turned and played it back to Rangers centre half. And I was just waiting for every Dundee United player to just go and jump, and they sat off, and I went straight away. I thought, oh no, this will be comfortable for Rangers, because I think Rangers. That's the type of game Rangers would have wanted after 2 weeks ago. I think.
That's what I'm saying.
To be able to play themselves into the game,
space on the ball.
Definitely. So I was surprised with that sort of approach as well, because Dundee United, to be fair, have been brave in games this year. But they actually had a fair amount of possession in the second half, Dundee United, didn't they? But just never really.
Yeah. Did Rangers kind of sit off it?
Rangers actually looked more dangerous on the counter-attack the sort of last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, but as I say, they had good possession, but they didn't really threaten. I think Rangers were quite comfortable letting them have in certain areas, and but yeah, but still, as you say, I think Dundee United's main threat was still set plays, wasn't it? Really?
Aye.
So
That throw-in's fucking wild for Graham, that.
that's got to be banned now.
The way he
surely.
lost that,
That's
mate.
got to be a foul
throws
throw.
it here, mate, as well.
He
It's
just fucking goes like that, doesn't he?
It's
He gets some
wild.
distance on it though.
Fucking it.
But it's flat. It's a pure flat throw as well.
It's sort of-
So that's an asset for sure.
Trev, you were at Dundee United, obviously under Tam Courts. I was going to say a short spell, but it was an abbreviated spell.
Like it.
Like that, mate.
Ah,
You
clever.
see why we're doing that?
No, I don't.
The words Tam Courts used to use.
Oh, right, of course. I was, of course.
was-
Charlie's told that on here. Tam loves some big words.
The words
but
are incredible, mate.
he
When
could
Tim Bar-
complicate a sentence, like, but with some big words. But I loved Tam, mate. I thought he was great.
Did you?
He was really good, mate.
In terms of what, like his coaching and...
His
just how he was
attention to
a guy.
detail, mate. Like, he was obsessed with football, mate. Like, really was. But listen, I didn't have the best of spells there in terms of, you know, I've only played 4 games, and then to be fair, I played 4 games, done quite well. And he dropped me, you know, well, he brought Benji straight back in when he came back from injury. So the fact that I've still got good things to say about him when really I should be not too happy with him, you know, says a lot. But he was a good coach, mate, really good coach. And
Done really well as well, didn't
he
you?
did,
was it
mate,
third?
like
Both.
4th that season, I did, mate. And that was in the back of, they got promoted the year before, didn't they? So,
Was there times where genuinely you're like, I've not got a fucking clue what that means with the words he would use?
oh, mate, definitely. Like,
Can you- have you-
even right back to the first conversation I had him, I remember it was at David Lloyd Gym, my family, when he rang me to sign me. I remember at one point, like, my missus was sat there and I was like, the phone to the side, I was like, this guy, like, honestly, you know, every word was like, honestly, I'm not the most intellectual, like, but I couldn't understand half of it. But listen, I thought he was a great guy, mate. Some good comedy moments with him, but
Wee bit surprised he's never been linked
I
with
know.
a job again in Scotland, after.
he's been
obviously
linked with
going
a
abroad.
couple, no? I thought, was he not in with for the Wraith one? No.
So
Was
he
he
was
in
linked
for
to
it?
it.
I heard
He
his
was
name
linked to
linked,
it.
aye, but again, mate, I'm surprised that he hasn't walked straight into a decent job, like, but I don't know exactly what happened when he went abroad, but
Well, we know why, innit? Nobody can understand the fucking word he's saying.
Imagine,
What? You're going to do what?
imagine him
Even
trying to
Google
learn
Translate
a new
couldn't
language
translate.
with some of their words. Fucking hell, man.
My God, unreal.
There was some characters in that dressing room. Big Charlie, Kev McDonald, were they in there?
no, I wasn't there when Kev, I left in the January, I went,
Just so happy that you
nah, mate, that was
Hey, your vlogs are brilliant. If we stick to your, keep doing your vlogs. They're brilliant, man.
He'll be thinking about that all night, won't he?
any other big
Was Morris
characters.
Malpass
no?
there?
Big characters in it, apart from they two.
Ask him if you thought Morris Malpass was still in the didn't you?
Nah, but to be
Who
fair,
were the
like,
big characters?
you got big Charlie, mate. Big Charlie was a great guy. I car shared with him up from Glasgow, and just a proper good guy, isn't he? Like, loads of story. He's got the knack of telling a story, doesn't he? How he delivers it. But you know, for me, what a player as well. That season we finished 4th, mate. He was excellent, and just loads of experience. But
Was he still winding people up at that age, or did he calm down a wee bit? Like, I think did he not put a video of the kit man up? He was doing something.
he was always winding someone up, mate. Him and Sparky, mate, were always up to something. Mark McNulty, they were always up to something. But yeah, but obviously, like, travelling up and down, we never really got the chance to. We had our Christmas party in Newcastle, which I'm sure Charlie's
I don't
told you
think
about. No, has he
What
not?
happened?
Mate, so we went to Newcastle. It's a Saturday night. We went out and we went into the table. But Newcastle's notorious for bouncers being a bit idiots, mate. So one of our young lads, he'd never really drank before, so obviously we've got him absolutely steaming, and he's being sick all over the booth and that. Next thing, the bouncers come over, like, over aggressive, dragging him down the fire exit, and I'm like, I know what they're like in Newcastle, so I'm like, I'm going to follow him, make sure. So I've made the mistake of going down the fire exit with him to make sure he get out all right, and next thing, a big bouncer's just clocked me from behind, mate, so I've got the biggest, I've KO'd, mate. Like,
Did you get sparked?
sparkled, mate. But then the next day, we're obviously in fancy dress, mate. And we all got a letter, and I've got Q, so I've dressed as the Queen, mate. So I'm sitting all day, mate, with a big, massive shiner, dressed as a Queen, mate. Horrendous. But the worst thing was, that week after, I don't know if you remember, the whole Dundee United squad took down with COVID, so there was about 8 of the lads out. So at the time, I wasn't playing. I was nowhere near it. I've ended up having to play, mate. We're playing at Ibrox in front of 50,000, and I'm like, honestly, mate,
With
like,
the black eye?
big, massive. You'll be able to get picked. It was horrendous, like,
Amazing.
but
You ever been sparkled?
He was going to spark me on a Christmas Day.
No way.
Remember?
He must have deserved it, mate. No,
I think it
Did
was
ya?
a bit cheeky. Yeah,
Can you remember this?
I
The thing
think,
is,
I think offered us outside.
The thing is with size, quick-witted and all, I can't take banter, mate. So he must have. He probably
I
had.
think and as soon as I said something to me, I knew
He
you
had
were
me on
fucking
toast,
raging. And you're one of them, mate. You would remember it the full night, man. So every now and again, I'd just look over and you'd be fucking staring at us, man.
Mate,
You shite
Them
myself.
days are gone, mate. Them days.
you know,
He was the monk, mate, honestly. He could turn like that, mate.
I tell you, it was one of the best things I've ever seen to when they two were nearly fighting. That was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Did he not fucking did you dig me or did
No, you dig me.
No, I slapped you.
You slapped me across the face.
What was that over?
Oh,
Messi,
fucking Messi, mate.
Shut
Messi
up.
Ronaldo, best man in the world.
Aye.
Yeah.
Over
And he
me.
went like, he slapped me in the face like, hurry up, get inside. And I went like, see you there in a minute. Really started creating drinking, mate.
Was there a drink involved or not?
I was in between them saying he gave it one of them ones if it was good, like pulling.
I know, you
Who
should
went?
have
No, but the best part was, right?
Shut up, I'll bar the both of you.
The best part was, right, Simon outside, right? He must have been out there for about fucking 15 minutes and came back in and went, hurry up!
We swung it back to Camden.
man.
Who do you reckon wins that?
It was
No, who do you
West
reckon
End,
wins it?
No, it was a World Cup
Who
final.
do you reckon
We
wins
done
the
a show.
final?
It was a
Final,
World
aye.
Cup final, aye, right after the game, or during the game, was it?
We done
No,
an
it was during the
SWG
game, aye.
show, didn't
Aye,
we?
it was
Paddy
straight
was there.
No, he'd left.
Oh, Paddy
had
left,
aye. I think it was just us.
See if you were to watch that back, we would honestly
was
get slaughtered.
so
It was so
funny,
pathetic, wasn't it? Oh, man.
Who's your money on for that fight? Who's your money on?
No,
between
him,
them
mate, he
two?
can win more.
Yeah. Can you go, eh?
Boys and bouncers have spark.
He was big on the. He was big. You were big on the gang fight, wasn't it? You and your dad.
Man, that's mad for that, innit?
I tell you what, it was some makeup they had fucking getting off each other for about 30 minutes afterwards. So sorry.
We need to say John Bennett announced Saturday stepping down for his role, chairman due to health reasons. Wish him all the best.
Of course, aye.
Rangers need to get a CEO in quickly, don't they? A number of positions need filled there, don't it?
Aye. I don't know, it's a weird one, innit? It's hard because they obviously need investment for somewhere because, to be fair, John Bennett and the Parks and the guys that have been in there recently they've actually done well for the club. They've obviously put a lot of their own money in, but they need investments for somewhere, and they're obviously they're not the ones that have got it. So, be interesting to see what happens now. I've seen a couple of articles last night about Dave King potentially coming back in for a cut of year to sort of
Would that be a good
stabilise.
thing, Andy?
I think short term, aye, but I don't think long term, no. Which I do think long term, that's what Rangers need to be looking at. Somebody that can. But I say, if he's coming in short term to stabilise, to find the right people to move the club forward, I think it's fine. But I think there's bigger issues than that. I say it all the time. You can talk about managers and players. It's if the club's not all pulling in the same direction with a director of football, a technical director, signing players for a reason, getting a manager for a reason, style for obviously the longevity of the club, it's never going to work. You see, obviously, Man U are sort of changing that sort of full infrastructure now,
But they're
but
still pish.
Rangers, obviously Rangers need to start somewhere, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
That must be the hardest job in the world when you're not doing well at Celtic and Rangers chairman and.
Pressure's like no other.
Aye, it'll be hard.
Imagine
aye.
what that must do to you, mate, like mentally. If you hear a bad podcast on a Monday, you can't sleep till Thursday. Like,
My phone goes off for 3 days.
he turns his phone.
I've had this debate. I go back and forth with people. Though, right? Do you think recruiting for Rangers and Celtic? Well, we'll say Rangers because it's definitely harder for Rangers. Do you think recruiting for Rangers would be really hard?
No.
I don't think it would be as hard as people make it either. Listen, that could be so naive. It's unbelievable, but I don't see it as hard as what the club have made it be in the last 10 years.
The only thing is like Celtic, they cannot compete now. I mean, even down south, the money they're spending down there. So if there was a player there, say for 5-6 million, even if they want him wages wise, they can't compete.
But see, with Celtic fans especially go like that, they should spend more money, spend this like £12 million on players. But you also need to give that guy 60 grand a week. See, when you give him 60 grand a week, Callum McGregor comes to you and go, well, I want 60 grand a week.
I mean,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of
where does
course.
it end?
I'm looking at teams down there, and they're generally signing players that have never played first team football for 15-20 million,
I know. It's
and
mad.
just then
Mate,
putting them on loan.
Yeah. it's
Oliver
right.
Skip got signed for 25
25
million quid, mate.
that's
Wouldn't they
right.
take him on a free East Kilbride? I'm telling you, mate. Oliver Skip's agent
would
told
try.
me he got.
You'd try, wouldn't you?
I would try and get one. Wouldn't they take him, mate? Leicester have just paid 25 million quid for him.
That's the thing. It kind of does rub me up the wrong way a wee bit when you see that O'Reilly goes for a similar price tag to an Oliver Skip. Do you know what I mean there?
Nah.
I do get it's hard, like, to compete with certain clubs. I get that, but I do think with what you've got now, with the scouting network, the amount of scouts you've got, the data you've got, I don't think you should get 80% of your signings wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like I says, I understand completely that you're going to lose it to clubs that will offer more money. That's obviously just part of football, but I don't think it's as hard as what people make out, personally.
See, like Celtic and Rangers, would they be competing, would you almost say, with like Ajax fan of the Dutch league?
No.
What would
No, well, Celtic maybe, Rangers no. Rangers aren't compete with Ajax and Feyenoord, no.
No.
I don't think so.
See,
The targets that Rangers lost it in the summer went to Norwich and fucking...
saying that.
See, then it would be very difficult then to be recruiting if you're losing players to Norwich. Do you know what I mean? If you've not got the finances there to...
Still laughing at see when people said after that first week of the season that Rangers should have signed the Hearts right back.
Aye, after
I watched
the
them
World,
against Saturday, mate, all over the fucking
It's
shop.
mad how reactive you are. Everybody is. isn't it,
We're all
really?
like that though, aren't we? We
Uh-huh.
do react to like one performance.
See, as a player, do you have much to do with like chairman and guys above you, or does that not happen?
Nah, not at all, mate, no. So,
Remember at Pompey, mate, our CEO was like one of the players, mate. Mark Catlin.
I remember
mate,
that,
never in the
aye.
fucking dressing room, man.
Did you like that or didn't?
Mate, I called him Dale Winton, and I used to prank you at our chief exec constantly, remember?
aye.
I used to phone him for the physio room and that, pretend to be a Portsmouth fan. Remember?
That's right.
That's amazing.
And then he had to come
And he would actually talk to you?
Mate, I was like best mates on me, but as in like taking the piss out of him in front of everybody, mate, and
Yeah.
he loved it, didn't he?
I'd
loved
actually
being
had
with the
him.
boys.
I was at Bury with him before that, mate. When he came in, and he was similar at Bury, like proper wanted to be one of the boys and in the round. And I don't think it's
chief
healthy,
exec?
mate.
Mate, have I
Chief
told you a
exec,
story?
mate.
Were you
Never
there?
even heard of
Nah.
that before.
Nah.
Mate, were you there when I got steaming in a pub in Portsmouth and ended up fighting and arguing with fans?
No, I heard about it though.
And I woke up the next day and I had like 5 missed calls for this Mark Catlin, who's the chief exec. And Joe De Vera, who
Big
we were
Joe,
tight because
aye.
we were at Swindon
Yeah.
together, me and the missus used to hang about. He phoned me, he's like, mate, you were rolling about a pub with a Portsmouth fan. Like, and I was like, you're kidding me, man. So I phoned Mark Catlin, he's like, what about you guys? Like, buzzing, he's like, listen, mate, what a character, man. Can't believe you're rolling about the fans. And I'm like, oh no, listen, mate, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's fine. I've organised for me and you to go to the fans' house. And I was like, nah. He's like, no, I'm coming to pick you up in like 5 minutes. But he's pissing himself in the motor. He's like, what are you thinking, mate? So me and him are sitting in this fucking guy's living room, mate, that I was rolling about with the night before, saying sorry. And then the guy came up to the stadium and I had to give him like a stadium tour. Me, the chief exec, and the guy I was rolling about with, I gave him a stadium tour of Fratton Park.
I don't think that's ever happened at any.
Anyway.
That probably summed up Portsmouth at the time.
That
It was a
was-
bit,
it was
we were
like that,
miles
wasn't
off it, weren't
Hey,
we?
we used to go and sit with the fans every Sunday. We'd be dick 3 of them on a
Yeah.
Saturday. But you come to the pub tomorrow, mate?
It's quite
sit
good.
with them.
Quite good that though. I like that.
Brilliant,
With
mate. Dangerous.
I've played it, obviously you know better than me, but I've played at Portsmouth a few times. The fans are pure loyal, aren't they? Like
Amazing.
proper
Oh,
loyal
mate,
to
they're
the team.
fanatical, like, yeah.
Because
And
we
then
were
they've
dog shite, mate.
got- Oh, mate.
How they watched that after what they'd watched before.
Would
I'll
they
never-
booze? No, ever.
Never booed us. I don't
Nah,
think
they didn't. No, they were they were always supportive. Even we went a ridiculous run. I think we went like 6 games. We lost in a row, mate. And they were still like 19,000. Like, but I remember my debut there, won 3-0, and had a really good game. But I wouldn't say they were delusional. But I remember like had a decent game back then, young lad. I'll get the paper on the Sunday, mate, see what they're saying about me. And I remember one of the fans who wrote in, looks a decent keeper, but doesn't have the stature of David James. Mate, I'm thinking, like, because obviously 3 years before, mate, they're playing the
Premier League.
playing in Europe and that, mate. And but the stature, mate, I'm about 7 inches smaller for a start.
Wait, age me like 21 or something.
Aye, mate, didn't have a stat. I was thinking, no wonder. But had that sort of delusional, like.
But you can see why, mate. When it was a great
of
club.
course. So we were always swimming against the tide in terms of doing well, but.
Have you ever been typed like a chief exec or that?
No,
I've never heard of that.
no, I don't think I've ever.
I've never
spoken
heard
to
of
one.
any chief exec.
Aye.
To be fair, at Motherwell, Big Burrows was quite friendly with the boys, like Big Flo, he was.
You said you used to get showered with the boys.
Aye, sure, great
strange,
great
that.
body, mate. Nah, but Big Flo was sound. But
Is he a good guy?
Great guy, mate, great
But
guy.
he did start as in like,
Aye,
he was a
so
fan
he,
and stuff, and he was always
aye.
close with the
Right
players.
back, wasn't he? Right back.
I think Tam Courts on it. Half each, 45 feet. Right on to Celtic, lads. 2-0 against Hearts. 2 new signings, scoring. Can't ask for much more. Were you surprised that Engel
Bernardo.
started ahead of Bernardo?
Aye, I was.
Aye.
Especially Bernardo after his performance for Rangers, I thought he was outstanding. I was really.
Why do you think he has started him then?
Probably because of the price tag, maybe. I don't know.
Champions League is coming up as well. Will I be thinking of that? But then all the other main players played, so it was surprising.
Well, the experts on the Coupons would have said there was no way that Engels would start and it would definitely be Bernardo.
So they did.
Didn't they? Deal? I know. I said no.
No chance.
I'd have went with him, to be fair.
Would you,
I'd have
eh?
said Bernardo would have
See, if
started.
you're Bernardo, right, and you've sat on the bench all last year, you've came in, you've done like, what more do you need to do to get a run of games?
Like you say, Joe, it's definitely more after that performance against Rangers. Like, I thought he was like really good, so
How good did the new boy look though? Angles, did you see
Aye,
the clips of him?
Nah, he looked good.
They look brilliant, didn't
He looked really good.
Again, it's just another one that I know I say this
Just
probably
made for
too
that
much,
position.
but just that athleticism
Aye,
in modern day football.
aye.
He's about 6'3", mate.
Aye.
Like can
He had
shift.
a bit of O'Reilly about him, didn't he? The
Aye.
way he strides and that. Yeah, he looked really good. Like.
Will he play Champions League? Because he did play Bernardo. Remember, was it last year? Bernardo never
I
got
love
a
the
sniff in
Champions
the league,
League,
but he
aye.
played him in the
Yeah,
Champions
that's
League,
right,
didn't he?
yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me if Bernardo gets put back in for that game.
I think you can play yours against Bratislava, mate. Honestly, you two can go. Legends game.
I don't know.
Me and Burrows back free. I'm gonna go back. Not gonna need to defend much, so we'll go back free. Look, McCowan as well. I need to say. There's a pet peeve. Palma. We guys just scored for his boyhood club. He wants to run his fucking darts and Palma grabs him. Get the fuck out as I'm running there.
I didn't see that.
Oh mate, I was like, leave him. Stopped his celebration scoring his first goal for Celtic.
I did see on the game. I thought it would have been a heavier result for that. I thought it would have won 4.
Kyogo has a chance early that he
Got to score.
and then hit the post. I
He's
think
not
they
scoring a
go.
lot, Kyogo, is he? His performances have been brilliant for the start of the season, but he's not seemed to be, even last
That was
season,
a bad miss though, for his
That was bad.
standards.
It was
Thought
bad,
so.
that. But I was surprised. I thought it would have been, and there was a few controversial, was there controversial VAR decisions with the penalties? What did you think of them?
No, I think they're both penalties.
Both penalties, right?
No, sorry, no, both right decision.
Both right decisions, all round the board.
Yeah, I think so.
Aye, probably lean towards that as well. I think the Scales one's definitely not a penalty for me.
Too close, isn't
The
it?
Penrice one, it's like, I do think they've obviously came in at the start of the season and basically says that close proximity is a thing now, so he is really close. So they are ones that I wouldn't mind seeing sort of let slide, but the fact of the matter is his hand, he was like, you know what I mean?
You can
His
tell
hands
by,
are out here.
you can tell by the reactions as well. You
Aye.
can see Penrice's face.
Mate, I was just
straight
about to
away,
say,
like,
see if James Penrice has ever accused anyone, mate. He's
mate.
going down for
Aye.
10 year in Barrel, mate.
Aye.
His face just looked guilty, didn't it?
100%.
He's done that in it.
You've got to get
Penalty!
Mate, did you see Shankland again Engels a bit before the penalty? Who was it? It was big help.
Didn't mind that, mate. Didn't mind that.
Again, why has that been made a thing? I think that happens at every
Aye,
single
of course
penalty.
it does.
Like, people, you always try and put off a taker. Like, you use a goalie.
You take the risk of looking like a dickhead after the score, but you do try and play mind games, but...
Can you remember any that you've done?
No, but I remember my best mate, Ben Annick, he was at Bolton at the time.
Good goalie, Ben, on it.
Bennett, and they were playing against Oxford and the boy Chris Maguire. Was it Chris?
Scottish.
And Ben was like pointing to that side, like as if, I know you're going that side. So Ben's obviously, like the boy Maguire scored it and he's ran in.
Aye,
Do you
I
remember
remember
as
that.
it got there? Aye, and Ben.
He stood in the line and done that.
Aye, and Ben waited for him in the tunnel after. He was telling me like he was going to like rip the head off him. Like he's not. You think I'm angry? He's 10 times worse. But yeah, as I say, when you're doing stuff like that, you know you're running the risk if they score here. Like
You're no bad at penalties, man. I ain't saying that. Have you saved a few penalties?
I've saved a few. But yeah.
Do you do the old
Nothing
water,
out of
do
the
you do the old
ordinary,
water bottle where people are going in that?
To be fair, I've got a lot of trust in my goalie coaches. Like they do like their research and stuff, and like anywhere I've been, I've always trusted them. If they watch, like for example, last year I saved one of Shankland's, and the goalie coach had seen a pattern in what way he goes in certain games.
What, as in a pattern, as in he'll go like left and then the next one will be right and then it'll be left?
A pattern in terms of the way the game's going. If the game's tight, he goes a certain way, there's certain players. I don't want to give away too much, mate, but there's certain ones, and then when I was at St Mirren, we played Dundee in the cup, and I saved 3 out of the 3, and again it was Langfield had done all the research, and I just totally trusted him because for a penalty you do have to get a lot right in terms of if they had a half decent penalty and you're diving to the side, you have to commit to it. So. I've had a decent record.
I know I feel we can know a pattern with James Tavernier's, but I'm not telling you.
I think we've found a pattern, but I'm not telling you.
I wonder if it's I'll say it off camera.
No,
but I wonder
tell
if it's the same.
No.
And do you see when the penalty you scored V7 in the shootout? Did anybody shout at you? Any players?
Nah, because it's a shootout, aye, so
They're on the half lane, they need to shout fucking pretty loud.
See when the guys coming back up?
No, that I can remember, but that's definitely common. Like, I will, if somebody's taking a penalty against my team, I'll be shouting something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100% every single time.
Can you
And
give
it
us
could
any
be
examples?
No, it could be something stupid like shouting in the goal, he's gone right, he's gone to your right, he's got your right. Do you know, it's something daft as that, but anything that you know might just play with his head first, but never works. But fucking
Imagine shouting for the halfway line down.
Yes, aye! Yes, aye!
to be fair,
Imagine you're like, what? What you saying?
to be fair, it's a very good penalty. Because you see Engels, he takes a stutter and then looks at Craig Gordon and then obviously
Aye,
picks his
slots
spot.
it.
Another good stutter.
Remember? Oh, come on. Remember Onana this season was like to Haaland? Pointed
He's
to it,
another
and he
joke
just
figure,
passed it in
Onana.
there and he dived the other side.
Even that, do you know what was that Cucurella singing about Haaland in the summer? Haaland goes and fucking dunks him for a scope for a goal.
Yeah, what a bit.
What a,
Roy Keane must be sitting there feeling so stupid. We
League Two player.
Roy Keane called him a League Two striker. mate.
Wow, man.
Right.
Roy Keane's slaughtering people of League Two teams for trying to play it through the back.
Have you watched any recent overlaps? No.
I'm close to stop watching it, mate.
Aye.
I just can't get why England can't keep ball in finals. And then you want everyone to kick the ball up the fucking pitch. That's why you can't keep the ball in finals.
I love when you go from that.
Oh,
Did
mate.
you disagree with the playing out from the back debate then?
Disagree.
I was listening to it on the way down
Disagreed,
today.
you?
To an extent, like, I get the...
Yeah.
But see, everyone that's done well down there, like your Luke Williams and that, Notts County, they done it by playing football,
Of
mate.
course, mate, yeah.
Like,
but-
so see if you're just doing what everyone else does, how are you going to get success?
No, I know, but I still think the risk and reward thing, like in terms of playing out from the back sometimes, like make a big thing of it nowadays. I think I wouldn't go as far as it's a pet peeve, but this playing out from the back from a goalkeeper especially, like what is the reward at the end of it? What for you?
You've got control of the ball.
What 20 yards up the pitch? Or?
No, but we control the game there so that we can get more opportunities to get the ball to our forward players.
Yeah. No, listen, there's debates for it either way, but
But again, I used to be in the
That's
camp.
interesting,
I used to
though,
be in the
that's
camp
interesting.
Trev, where it was had to be total football all the time.
Yeah.
But, like we change that now. Like if certain teams press us a certain way, we'll go a wee bit more direct.
Yeah.
But it's not a fucking goalie putting the ball down and just lumping it up to two big centre backs.
Yeah.
We're manipulating the ball to get it forward quicker, but it's forward with control, mate.
yeah, of course, no. I
We had
totally agree, but do you think you have to have the players to do it, or do you think you can
What
coach
does that-
any? No, I've
So see, we spoke about last. What does that mean? The players to do? Asking them
Yeah.
to control the ball and pass it.
yeah. Well, I remember speaking to Craig Gordon about Celtic working under Brendan Rodgers, and he said, like, Craig was never. I was at Sunderland with Craig for 3-4 years, and he was never one for playing out from the back. You know, he's never been comfortable doing it. But I think when he went to Celtic, I think Rodgers coached him it, and listen, he wasn't like freaking Neuer or Ter Stegen at playing out the back at the end of it, but he got better. He clearly got better at it because he was coached at it. And but the thing he said to me was he knew where he was in the pitch when he had the ball. He always had 3 options. Do you know what I mean? And that's I
So see, if
think
you're playing it for the back, you're asking players to play it for the back,
Yeah.
and you're not giving them options, then that's a lot
Yeah.
of shite, because that's impossible, I think.
Yeah.
But if you're working on options, rotations, movements, when you get the ball here, these are the 3 options you've got, you pick the option.
like me as well. Like I came through Sunderland, and at the academy we had a Dutch technical director, and it was all about playing out from the back. And then I get lost in the lower leagues in England, and see now I'd have to be I'm good. I can join in boxes and be comfortable, but see in terms of playing out from the back, I'd have to be recoached again. Do you know what I mean? Like redo it.
I always think as well, like, if you're a team for playing at the back, if you have one player that doesn't buy into it, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
If you have one player that
100%.
does not
Yeah,
believe
of
it
course,
or doesn't
of
want
course.
to play out for the back, you're generally fucked.
And I
Because
think 90% of these teams do have that. Like it's just there is teams who do it for a reason to get to a certain area of the pitch, but I think the majority of it is, you know, as they were saying that thing, like sometimes it's just for the sake of it. I feel that anyway. But
Dundee, we've said this before, you're a bit of a hybrid, aren't you? Whereas there's like usual play when it's on to play,
But-
especially in the sort of middle third, middle to sort of front.
Aye.
But you'll go direct if you feel as if it's needed as well.
Of course, mate, and it's just sensing it in a game. You can sense it in the pitch. If the team drop off, of course I'm gonna roll the ball 10 yards to my centre half, who can then go and do something higher up the pitch if they're dropping off. But if they're in a full press and we're under the cosh, I'm not gonna draw pressure onto us, like in certain moments of the game. But
But see this as well, like Neville and Keane, but Guardiola does it, but he only does it because he's got the players. But see, when he first went into Barcelona, the players one of their players. He
Yeah.
made them their players
yeah,
by putting them in a system. Like Barcelona were fucking 4th when he took over.
yeah.
So how did he have the players when he first went in? Just as well, because we brought the Keane, and we're talking about Craig Gordon as well. You were at Sunderland when Keane, I think Gordon, made a mistake, but someone happened for a goal, and he said, "I'll go and go." It was a free kick.
Free kick.
Aye.
I said, "Well, I'll go and go on Monday, and you can shoot anyone that scores into us. I'll give them £100. Is that right?"
It did happen, mate, but it wasn't in a way that he wasn't belittling Craig. You know, he certainly wasn't. But
He was just trying to prove a point. He said
Aye, he was
about a wall or something. He was talking about, wasn't
Craig
he?
just played along with it, and as I say, but it wasn't. I think Keane added a few
Legs on
Mate,
it.
we know
Legs on
what
it,
that's
mate.
like, innit? We do it every
Brilliant,
week.
innit?
Yeah, it did happen, but Big Craig took it well, and yeah.
So what boys standing hitting shots into Roy Keane?
I hitting shots at Roy
he
Keane,
score
but
them?
mate, Keane used to walk around the training ground with a hurley bat and a hurley ball, mate, and boys would be hitting shots at each other with it wasn't a common. It was strange things that were happening, mate. Like at the time under Keane, he was quite like off.
He'd
the
walk
cuff.
about with a hurling ball and a hurling
hurling
bat.
ball and a hurling bat, mate, and they would just
What were you doing? Just hitting a bit?
after training, the Irish boys would just be
That's
smashing
Nigel
the ball
Clough,
out.
mate.
It's because he played under Clough, didn't he?
Nigel Clough.
It does sound a bit like, but yeah, that happened, mate. And as I said, Craig wasn't upset about it or anything. He took it well.
Was Gordon the best goalie you've played with?
Definitely that 2-3 years I had with him. So I was sort of his backup keeper, and he was outstanding. He was unbeatable. As I was saying to Slaney earlier, like he made you feel so inferior at times. You know, when you do shooting drills and that, and there was days where when he was on it, mate, he was incredible. But there was a lot of good goalkeepers there. We had Simon Mignolet, Kieran Westwood, and yeah, good goalies, mate. But I think that spell, that 1 year where we finished, I think 9th, Craig was top drawer, like.
Brilliant. Right, Hearts.
I can't believe I've actually just read 14 points behind Aberdeen already. I can't believe that. But was
Drew
there,
the first game, didn't they? And Aberdeen have won every game.
but was there signs of improvement against Celtic through a performance sense?
But the thing is, Michael Stewart actually, I know you used to say Michael Stewart just here, he actually made a good point. They done alright, but they can't go and play like that again next week because they basically put 10 men behind the ball, didn't they?
Was that the
I was going to say, it was more just like,
making it hard
sort
to
of
do?
tried to frustrate, but see that's all the time with Celtic, like, Celtic are one of the teams, if you score early, you're fucked, let's be honest. And if Kyogo scores that chance that even when he runs through for the halfway line, then Hearts then need to sort of change their game plan. It's easy to hold on to something when you've got it, but as soon as you go 1-0 down, something needs to change. And I wouldn't really say Hearts never really carried much of a threat, did they? Which I think they'll be disappointed with it.
Again, you talk about recruitment, sorry mate.
No,
right?
no, don't.
We talk about recruitment, how important it is. All the summer signings are sitting on the bench, mate. They're not even playing. So after it, it's not like they played like Tuesday or they played like. They've not played for 2 weeks, and Danda and Spittler are still on the bench.
I mean, for me, that when just been 14 points behind already, that's massive. It really
Yeah,
is.
when you look at their squad, the
Their
quality they've
squad,
got.
that shouldn't
Like,
be happening for me.
I remember we
Okay.
played them second game of the season, and you're looking at their bench. It was so strong, like, and but you know, I fully expect Hearts will get up and running, you know, sooner rather than later. But at the minute, obviously, it can't be a great place to be. But there's too much quality there to be, you know.
Some on the way next game's
it's
not easy either, is it?
Yeah, I think this year's like, listen, I know every year, but this year when you look at the fixtures at the start of the season, like, there's not many easy games. You know
You're
what I
just
mean?
desperate for the St Johnstone game to come in, you.
Not at all.
Just the personality, innit?
Not at all, but you know what you're like in the dressing room. You think, right, there's a good chance to go on a wee run, maybe 2-3, but then you look, you know, you've a couple of maybe winnable games, and then you've got really tough games. But it's a tough league this season, but listen, I fully expect Hearts to kick on.
How are the fans then with
Hearts.
the pressure of the Naismith? Are they making a lot of noise?
Like your arse on the Right to Ground podcast, I think they are making a bit of noise. I think they've took inspiration from your arse.
For that.
It's hard if you're not there or obviously on social media, but I can't imagine they'll be too happy.
I know the size of Club of Hearts, and especially as you say, the signings I've made, there's always going to be pressure on you. So it's up to you as a manager to improve that, rather than talking about maybe what people in the media are saying.
Alright, did you not like that? Do you think that was a dig at us?
No, I don't know. I just always think, like, if you are winning and playing really well, then that's fine. But then if you're getting beaten or doing your job properly, then concentrate on that more rather than what other people are saying. We're only here. Listen, I'm not saying it was us, of course, no. But
Who do you think it was that he was talking about?
Boyd, don't it? Can't
Andy
keep saying
Townsend.
it for him all the time. But no, listen, there is going to be pressure, of course, the size of Club of Hearts, what they've done last season. So it's up to him and his team to fix it.
But like, what is his best team? What's his best shape? What's his best formation? Personnel as well? What is? I don't think they know that, do they?
Problem is,
Because it'll change again next week. They're not going to play the same shape that they played against Celtic this weekend.
Well, they've not found it yet because they've not won a game. Do you know what I mean? So obviously it's not till you start winning games and you look at the personnel that's played in the games, then you build a trust. Like, I can trust them in the games because he's doing well. Because they've not won a game, they will know. But at the same time, it's not as if the ones that are getting changed are bad players. You
No.
talk about their squad. Like, boys that are coming in and the changes are Ross County's best player for last year, Motherwell's best player for last year. So it's still full of quality. It's not as if it's the difference in quality with a couple of injuries, whatever's drastically less. They should be doing obviously a lot better than that.
Should he just get now a system and players that can play that system and stick with it for a couple of weeks? Because it is constantly chopping and changing, isn't it?
A big thing I'm on board with that I think you've spoken about a lot is like play Shanks up front. Like I do think, I get it. Away to Celtic, away to Rangers, if you want more pace up there to threaten them behind, that fair play. Like I agree with the understanding, but I think for the most part, Shanks needs to be our 9. He needs to be up front. He needs to be a focal point and be in the box. Because to be fair, I think Stephen Naismith said this in interviews that a lot has been made about the goals they've conceded, but they've no looked anywhere near the team that they have been previously in terms of going forward and. The chance, I don't think Shanks scored yet this season.
Shot for about 40 yards Saturday, didn't he? Against Schmeichel, was his one chance.
Oh, did he?
That's the two things. Defensively, they were second best last season from conceding goals. That's not the case this season, and Shanklin's no scoring goals, so they two together, bad recipe.
Well, guy. Need to ask Trevor about when Brendan Rodgers tried to sign him for Celtic.
Yeah, it was.
Were you flying at the time?
That was a lifetime ago, mate. Do you know what, mate? I'd just moved up. I'd actually got relegated from League 2 with Hartlepool in the summer. Signed for Motherwell obviously in the summer, come up, and this happened 6 months later, so it was a massive turnaround in terms of where it'd been, where it got to. But yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind few days that. Like, at one point everything was agreed, mate. It was done.
Few quid.
I think me and my missus played a game of let's see what we could have bought, mate. Like after
sitting on right with. But tell me.
Yeah, it would have been life changing, mate. Listen, it was a 4-year deal. It was 4.5-year deal. It was.
So there
was a chance to go and win trophies, mate, and compete.
Mate, 4-year deal with that dog, mate. So when do you hear that it's done?
No, it starts probably 3 days before the window shuts. I remember Hinchy, the goalie coach at the time, because he was pally with Stevie Woods, and he was the one who sort of gave me. I remember the morning the train, he said, Celtic are going to come in for you the day with bed. Gosh, no, they're not. Like, and then obviously it happened. They come in, and I think it was Burrows and the chief exec at Celtic at the time, Peter Lawwell, were sort of over a fee. I think they knew a fee, and Celtic, my agent, had said all along they were going to get the fee. It was just playing a bit of hardball with Motherwell, but we knew they would get there in the end, and when they finally did, Motherwell were signing the boy Freddie Woodman from Newcastle on loan. Yeah. So Freddie's getting ready to come up on his way up, and Joe Lewis gets injured at Aberdeen that day, mate, in training. This is the day before the window shuts. He's on his way up, and obviously Aberdeen come in for him, and he picks Aberdeen over Motherwell. So now I'm in the office with Stephen Robinson and Alan Burrows, and Robbo's like, he can't sell him. I'm resigning if you sell him, because I'm not going into the rest of the season. Listen, we got the cup final, but in the league we weren't doing great. We were still hovering maybe 8th or 9th in the league. We certainly weren't away from relegation, and Robbo's point was, listen, I need Trevor as my number 1. We can't sell him. The window was shutting that night. We played Hibs that night. I remember going to the Turkish bar. I was getting a nice trim, mate, thinking I'm going to be doing my photos.
This will be the last time I ever need to use a Turkish barber.
This was before the transplant as well, so I was clutching. But so in my mind it was all done, and then come out and a few missed calls off Flo, and I knew something was up, mate, and he said you need to come in. So I'm at Fir Park at say 2 o'clock. We'll play Hibs that night, but not one part of me is thinking I'm involved, because the window shut it like it was that night. Remember Scott Bain signed and Jack Henry. Bain was supposed to be on the bench against us for Hibs, and then they pulled him out of the squad, and he ends up signing for Celtic that night because mine fell through. But as I say, it was all like.
So when did you hear it fell through?
Basically when I'm in the office with Robbo and Flo, mate.
Before the game?
Aye, and I end up playing the game that night.
But do you go? I know the circumstance, maybe they couldn't let you go, but are you raging about it and let them know that?
Listen, of course I was, but I've never been. I probably look back. I've probably been too nice for my own good in times. But you look at players who do kick up a fuss, refuse to train, they end up getting their move, don't they? And I never done that. And maybe with hindsight, you look back, but I just didn't have it in me, mate. It was one of them. And to be fair to Robbo, he did spoke to Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan rang me the next day. I was on the phone to him for about 40 minutes, and that felt even worse after, because speaking to him on the phone, that was the first time. He was adamant he was coming back in for me in the summer, but obviously circumstances, Scott Bain signs, gets his debut in the Old Firm maybe 6 weeks later, does really well, and look at him now, mate. Like, you know, he's been there.
Did you not just Stephen Robinson just moved for Alan Burrows for right back?
Goals.
Oh, mate, that would have been fine, but it was
that's
just
heartbreaking.
See, when you're watching Benny sign, are you watching on Sky Sports News and he's walking at 6 because he hit the Hibs track?
It was that night, mate. We'd just been beat 2-1 at Hibs. I had a stinker for one of the goals as well, mate. So it was one of them. Like, and obviously Michael O'Neill was at the game as well, watching, because obviously Norman Iron Man. It was a rough one, mate. A rough one, but the football's mad.
Bottle of vodka when you got in that night, 100%.
Aye, definitely. But and then obviously in my head, I'm not too disappointed, because the next night I speak to Brandon and he's like, "Listen, I'm definitely coming in for you." Like, stuff like, he was Chelsea youth team coaches when I was at Sunderland. He was like, "I remember, I followed your career since we played against you," and he was able to tell me games I'd played in, and
wow,
you know, the detail and just the chance to go and work with someone like that, and as I say, compete for trophies. And, you know, listen, I've won nothing in my career. You know, I've played lower leagues in England and always been flirting with relegation and stuff. And, you know, bless my granda, he's got 2 of my loser medals, and, you know, the 2 Scottish Cup finals I played in. That's all he's got to show for my career. So for the chance to go and play and win trophies at Celtic, like, listen, it's obviously, it wasn't meant to be. It didn't happen, but
now
it was a rough one.
I just seen Benny this morning, mate. Celtic were doing a video of everyone coming in for training.
What was he driving?
He gets out the rangy, mate. No giving a fuck.
You don't need to say that now,
mate.
man.
Looking at $1 million.
I've just pulled up in the Skoda, mate, for a centre.
Coming in the open goal.
But mate, people didn't realise, like, that could... See, if that's me, mate, that's driving me mad for the rest of
That's not even my head.
But it's
never...
mad. Yeah, and then you fast forward 8 months, mate, I end up getting a blood clot 8 months later, and then didn't play for 18 months, mate. I was obviously out for 7 months with a blood clot, and then come back, and Mark Gillespie, who Motherwell had signed as my understudy, had come in and done that well. He ends up getting him. So I sit on the bench behind Mark for a year, mate, and he gets to move to Newcastle, and I'm sat there, mate. It's it.
Give him a hug, mate. Please, give him a hug. Get closer.
That's worse. That's made it worse.
That's made it Smell me. Oh, incredible. That's fit was mad.
It is, mate.
I could great.
Did ever end that we used to any
What, linked to, I just got linked to a big club?
No, but with a movie like you were... Was no one with you with... No.
What's the joke?
No, there was one where it was with maybe Swindon, where you left too early or something like that.
When my first year on loan at Swindon, it was Marty Riley, my agent, mate, so it would have been a load of nonsense. Like, he said the Leeds were, because we played Leeds that year, beat them twice, 3-0, I played really well over the 2 games. He said the Leeds are thinking about putting a bid in, but never happened, mate.
Andy?
We've all had that.
I've told my one.
They're watching you.
They're watching you. Played fucking 56 games. How many times did
Fucking no chance.
You're on their list.
You're on their list. List like that fucking size, isn't it?
Andy, boy, you've said yours, you said.
I've told my one before when I was on the bench every week for Middlesbrough, not really getting on the odd 10-15 minutes here and there, but I end up battering Tony Moby's door into go on loan. He refused at first, but eventually let me. And then the boy Adam Reach replaced me on the bench, came on against Liverpool, Anfield, scored, and then that was it. He played every week for Middlesbrough there on in. I went on loan at Walsall, had a shit month.
They
came back.
Walsall,
I know.
I've hundreds of them hard luck stories. Like, it's freaking story of my career, mate.
What, even more than them?
Oh, mate, honestly.
Do you want to say now?
I don't mind, mate, but I think in football you make your luck, mate.
I know, but how can you say, mate? I've played with you, say that. I know how hard you work and how hard you train.
I know, but at the time, mate, I'd moved from... So obviously my daughter's in Newcastle, but I'd moved from Hartlepool up to Motherwell, and, you know, I envy people who can make these big sacrifices in football. I couldn't do it, mate, so I was still on a Friday. I got my daughter from a Friday to Sunday. I couldn't sacrifice not seeing her. I was still doing that drive on a Friday, maybe 2-3 hours to pick her up and back up, you know, so... Although I was playing well on a Saturday, I still think, I look back now and I
preparation could have been better.
Of course, mate, and I still think, mate, everything happens for a reason. Wasn't meant to be, but...
His daughter and Frankie were born at the same time. They were both young kids at Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Frankie's first kiss, she was.
And last.
Is she good? She's
doing great, mate. Both kids doing great, mate.
Amazing. Aberdeen, Motherwell.
Aberdeen are flying. By the way, we need to start. Jimmy Thielen ignores your hunch.
Mate, I've took a video.
I've seen that, Andy. I've seen it, mate.
Jimmy!
Beat 2-0, he's like
I've seen you in that position before, you wee dick. That is blown so far out of proportion though.
You actually patch him first.
No, but we end up shaking hands. But it just so happens that the camera cuts off right after I walk out.
But I'm sure I seen you put your hand. I'm sure I'm seeing him doing that. Sniffed it.
Oh, mate, I was buckled when I seen that, man.
Sports scene capture it perfect, didn't it?
It's obviously one of the awkward ones I know where he's went to shake a coach's hand. I walked by thinking it's mine. So I turned round. He's just walked straight by me with his hand. I thought, fuck.
Oh, it was brilliant, man.
See that thing you said, that's happened to me recently with
The fist bump in the haunch.
and they end up just doing that. It's fucking.
You ever seen the Newcastle one of the woman and the guy doing it in the stands?
No.
Make sure you watch it. It's not a good story.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a cracking story.
That's a pet peeve, that thing that you're spot on. Yours is what? Generic shouts in the dressing room. I used to hate that as well.
Aye, the cliche shit.
You stick together!
Aye.
Fuck
When
is
your
that?
battles.
When your battles.
What's a battle?
Brutal. But that was a battle. Well, no battle because Aberdeen absolutely popped it.
Aye, they were, first half Aberdeen were very good. We couldn't get to grips with a game at all in the first half. They fully deserved to go in 1-0. I was impressed with them. It's the best Aberdeen team that I've played against for a long time. Definitely.
Wow.
Good individually, but more importantly, much better collectively. Get a clear style, play a certain way.
You said they were better under Warnock.
Oh, aye, fucking miles better.
Fucking hell.
But again,
They were really
buzzing
good.
that it's worked though, because like I say, Scottish teams should, I think, look at people from abroad that have done well though, not just like Stephen Glass, because you've heard he's a good coach or he plays a certain style. This guy's actually done well in another country. He's going to bring.
Aye. And his style as well, that he had.
You said what they were good at was like striker drop, playing out for a striker to drop in the final.
Aye, it was like very similar. Well, what I felt certainly midfield area was it was very De Zerbi like in terms of the midfielders would move off the striker's press. So when our lone striker pressed their centre half, the two sixes would follow the striker, so it would give us as sixes a bigger distance to press. And as we pressed the boy Gay or Keskin, and somebody would come off the line into the pockets, they would just wrap it through, get turned. But they were.
Malloy's very good for starting the attack.
Listen, obviously no surprises given he scored the 2 goals, but Pape Gay was definitely the one that impressed me the most. The boy Keskinen looked really good, but then even like the likes of Morris comes on with his pace. But again, like obviously Keskinen, new signing, cut on new signs has improved them, but Pape Gay never needed it last year at Aberdeen. Just came in and improved them. No, it's obviously, is it Bezzy? I always forget his name wrong. Bejelin, the boy that's done really well. Obviously Morris, like he's improved.
Plenty of left backs
He's improved boys that were there last year as well. So
How did you get on, Andy?
second half we were much better. Changed a couple of things in the way we pressed. Had centre half sort of stepping out, so made it a bit more difficult. Forced them to go a wee bit longer at times. And then we obviously created a lot more chances than we didn't. Well, I don't even think we created a chance in the first half, to be honest. Second half we created a lot more chances. Had a few chances at the end. You could probably nick it. Mitov makes a couple of really
He's
good
good
saves.
again, Mitov, isn't he?
Aye,
good,
he
man.
saved
Been a great signing for
he saved for Liam Gordon's header. I didn't actually realise how good it was because it's behind him. Like it loops and it's behind him, like it's back and sort of claws it. But to be honest, I think off the basis of the game, they deserve to win.
Your mate Nicky Devlin's playing well, mate.
And with the captain, what a journey, man.
Everywhere he goes, he gets captained, doesn't he?
Aye. Leader.
But it suits how he plays, mate. He wants the fullbacks to get really high, doesn't he? The two fullbacks get really. I mean, he has a shot for the goal, doesn't he?
They actually invert quite a lot.
Did they, mate? Huh?
They invert quite a lot, aye.
He's never done that against us. They start the season, so that's obviously maybe something that he's seen.
Aye,
So I like it.
quite a bit.
Maybe he's seen someone within the Scottish game. He thinks we can invert the fullbacks.
Aye.
Fullbacks here.
Was that a Duke involved or not?
No, he wasn't
He's chilling,
involved,
Duke,
no.
isn't he?
Strange.
You said he was in Jim Leighton's flat all night.
But I would be
Captured them.
I would be interested to hear from anyone from Aberdeen if like
I'll sort
I'm
it.
comparing it to obviously De Zerbi, but that is the way they built up.
Love it.
And because they definitely done it, so it'd be interesting to see if that was by design, which I imagine it will be because everything else they did is definitely by
But
design.
again, I bet you people would have looked at the big boy Rubizic centre half and go, there's no way you can pass the ball at the back with him. You can't do it.
Aye.
But you can, mate. See if it's a system that's worked on Monday to Friday, of course you
Do
can
you know,
do it.
the thing side with me with that is, I think what's baffling is every single day in training you do possession.
And then you kick the ball to pitch on a Saturday.
And defenders are there in that possession, touch, pass, keep the ball. So then you go to that. That's always the thing that's baffled me, why your people say that you can't do it.
But
You're better just working on kicking up the pitch Monday to Friday and get good at that. No, but you are. If that's what you're going to play, why not work on that Monday to Friday?
I'd love to actually get Nicky on
Devlin?
Aye.
Oh, you're his mates. You're the one that can get him on.
Aye, the only thing would maybe if you need to do the podcast up in Aberdeen if you would fancy that next Monday.
Definitely.
Travel up.
No, I wouldn't.
Would you know?
A bit
You fancy it, wee man?
I'll come up with you, mate.
I'll take you up, wee man.
Take you up, wee man.
On the scooter.
What is it?
On the scooter, on the back of the scooter.
How are you getting up there, actually, huh?
Charlie definitely.
Oh, did you watch that night train? Talk about the because you need to get train up. Watch that last night? Set in Glasgow?
No.
Watch it, mate. Very good.
I'm watching that Perfect Couple on Netflix. You know, you watched that?
I've
Nicole
skipped past
Kidman.
Oh, the guy for he's a hero. He's Ray Donovan.
Aye.
Well, it's good.
Good.
It's sort of White Lotus type thing, isn't it?
It's very similar. It's just like who done it. 2 episodes
I'm
to
gonna
go.
start
It's
that. I also watched
it
The
a
Wise Guy. Do you? And he's watched Sopranos.
I've watched what
I've watched Sopranos.
Mate, you need to watch
The
The Wise
documentary?
documentary.
Aye.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
David
I've heard
Chase.
I've heard the start of it's shite though.
Aye, he's
Too
a
much
bit
about
slow
him,
to him,
and then it's
once he
brilliant
gets
after
into
that.
Sopranos, mate, incredible.
Trev, you'll stick
Sopranos are the best ever.
Aye.
No, I mean, you're not interested in that. Mate. Trev, how did your move come about, mate, going to Motherwell? Robinson, highly involved?
You look like Ralph for the Sopranos. Ralph Cifaretto, remember him?
Can't remember, Ralph.
You Ralphie.
I'm going to
not
Google
great.
that just as you're talking.
And you go,
I mate, it was I think the Northern Ireland like with Stephen Robinson had obviously been in squads with Robbo, and I think that was probably the main thing. But I think his chief scout Martin Ford had watched us a few times, and yeah, it came about quite quick. Mate, I'd obviously been relegated at Hartlepool, and you know, made it clear I didn't want to play in the National League, so it was quite an easy deal to do. But yeah, it was a good
there's
opportunity.
a pet peeve, mate, the fucking cabins at Hartlepool.
What the
Porta
cabins?
Getting changed in
Aye,
a porta cabin,
aye.
mate.
It's not the worst in League Two though. Like
No, but,
it'd been Ackley, mate.
oh, Aki Stanley.
It's
Is it?
Oh,
it's
if that's
a
hard
test,
to get
mate.
up for a
Would
game.
it still be the same now?
Is Hartlepool still porta cabin?
That'll still be the same now.
I've been there as a fan.
No, it's,
have you?
no, it's not Porta Cabins anymore.
Oh, is it not
Hartlepool,
now?
no, I've done things. Was it Portsmouth where we went to Ackley and the game got called off? And we had to go
I
back?
was still there, mate, maybe.
No,
Because that is a fucking journey, that.
yeah, it is. But no, mate, it was good move for me, and yeah, it was
Enjoy your time at Motherwell.
loved it, mate. Loved it. Great club, as you probably see yourself now. You're there. It's just really a well-run club. Good people around the place, and.
What players did you get on with? Who did you like?
So when I signed, honestly, the first day, for some reason, big Mick latched onto me, big Steve McManus,
did you?
and good guy, mate. But you know what Big Mick's like, he takes his time telling the story and that. But honestly, like the likes of Mick and Hammy, like experienced boys, like really made me welcome. But I'm trying to think, you know what it's like when you go into the new change room. You're always looking for that wee link. Did I play with him or? And I don't think I did at the time, but you know, I look fast forward 6 years now. I'm in contact with 6, 7 of the boys. Still got a group chat. You know, it was that type of dress room, like the likes of Hammy, Terry, Cads, wee Al Campbell, and Grimmy. You know, obviously I'm playing with me and now, and you know, I still speak to Malty, Bowie. Like, just
Mate, is that true that Alan Campbell's the busiest, like in a good way, the busiest guy of all time?
Aye, mate. Again, you know, he reminded me of Jordan Henderson. Jordan was a young lad at Sunderland with me and just obsessed with football, mate. Like, proper. And again, I go back to what I said before about making sacrifices and making your own luck in football. And, you know, we Al's in the Prem now, you know, like. And Jordan's obviously had the career he's had, but, you know, that's not just through luck, mate. It's through working hard every day. And but Motherwell, we had a great dressing room, mate. Obviously that year we got the 2 cup finals, and I don't think we're the most talented team, but you know, we had a good solid team and working hard for each other.
He does an incredible job, so didn't he, Stephen Robinson there?
Oh, brilliant.
Unbelievable, mate. In terms of getting the best out of his teams, mate, like, and being organised. And I always remember what he used to say is doing the free things. You know, we don't have the resources that maybe a Celtic, Aberdeen, Rangers have, but the things we can do for free, we're going to be the best at it in terms of working hard, being organised, and being best at set plays. You know, that doesn't cost money and stuff like that. He was so, like, we were so well drilled.
Is he the one manager you've had that like coaches? He coaches everything, didn't he, man?
Everything, mate. But obviously now he's got Dermot. Well, I say everything. He had Maurice Ross and Laz at Motherwell, and now he's got Dermot O'Carroll. I think he's good at letting people have their say as well and letting people manage their areas. You know, he doesn't micromanage, but when it comes to like the small details about, you know, if you're going to play a Celtic and if we're pressing at a certain, you know, point of the pitch, he'll take that side of it, you know. But in terms of like maybe you know, your passing drills and all, he's happy to let other coaches do it, but when it comes to like actual shape, and you know, he's so like, and I think even when Northern qualified for the Euros in 2016, like obviously Mike O'Neill got all the credit, but Robbo was his assistant mate and took so much of the training and
came up with like the press.
The press, mate, and I think he took that into his club career. But yeah, it was brilliant, mate.
Remember we went up
Brilliant.
to interview him, he was so impressive. I couldn't believe the amount of work he actually done.
Do you remember the big poster he had in his office? Did you go into his office?
No, because I had
You were away for a shite.
remember the interview I done, it was the worst performance in England history.
There was something about Guardiola said something about running, and he has that on his wall. But I can't remember what the exact words are. But
I know what one you mean. I've seen
Did
that.
you-
But I
did
was
you
in
use
that
that?
office many a times with Robbo, so I think I've seen that poster.
How come you left Motherwell?
Motherwell, in the end, mate, it was so obviously, as I said before, the blood clot. I was out for a while. I come back, and I think I'd only come back for 10 games and got my knee injury, and then Robbo left and Graham Alexander come in. So I was vice captain at the time when Alexander come in, and to be fair, he made a point when he came in of, with that many injuries, he sort of just completely, so he came in the January, I think it was, and I got to April, mate, and I'd still not spoke 2 words to the new manager, mate. He'd never,
Who, Alexander?
Alexander, mate, never spoke a word to me, and I was out for the rest of the season. I didn't play again the rest of the season. And then Kells had come in, done really well. Like, Kells done brilliant for us. And then, so we've come in pre-season, but the night before pre-season, we've got a text saying, it was off the assistant manager saying, send your preferred squad number. So I'd wrote back 1. And obviously the next day I went into my training kit. I'd been number 1 there the whole time I'd been there, like the 4 years, and went to pick up my training kit, and Aldo, the kit man, like, you know what Aldo's like, great guy, and you could tell he was embarrassed, like, and he said, Trev, like, I got on great with Aldo. He was like, Trev, sorry, like, you're number 13, like, the manager's changed your number. And I was like, listen, I totally, like, that's his decision, but the fact that his assistant texts me, I give him a preferred number, and he didn't have the decency to
Text you back
text me back or pull me the next morning. So I went straight and seen him, and straight away the relationship had broke down, and I knew they were trying to sign Kells anyway, and yeah, it was just one of them things, mate, like, best for both parties. And
Imagine that
moved on.
assistant manager when he received that text back.
Number what?
Shite needs
Fuck this, innit?
Nah, mate, he'd have been laughing his head off, man.
Amazing. We need to ask you, Nadir Chifty, and you need to say Ross McCormick. What was he like, Roscoe?
Do you know what, mate? He was
Quiet.
quiet because
Yeah.
I think the circumstances when he came in, mate, he couldn't really. Fans were buzzing when he signed, obviously, but he couldn't really get a tune out of him, mate. And I think it sort of affected him off that he was.
I think you said at that time it was kind of gone from him.
Aye, mate, you could tell he had lost the hunger, like.
Another character Chifty.
I don't remember Shifty at Motherwell.
I remember him going.
No, I'm the same, I can't
Mate, you
remember
thought
that
I
at
was
all.
mad in the pit. He's screwless, mate.
What would he do?
Oh, mate, just like that. He had a short fuse, like, just with the boys and the manager, and every day you were on edge with him, like, but some player, mate.
Was he some player, was he?
Mate, it's the ability, but again, I think Robbo did, you know, I think he done quite well for us, but with his ability, it just couldn't get the best.
Could
out of him.
Robinson crack? Can he crack?
Aye, mate.
What's the worst you've seen him?
But me and him in his office a few times, mate.
What,
Me and Robbo were like father and son, mate. It was a love-hate relationship, right? But I think in the end, like, listen, I speak to Robbo regularly still, but in the end at St Mirren, mate, that's why I left. Me and him had a massive ding-dong, mate. And the worst thing was, we would have a ding-dong on say after a game on a Saturday, and come Monday, it'd be all right. But we had this at the end of the season.
It was
And then you go off for your family's break, and then all of a sudden I speak to my agent, I hear Dundee, you know, chance of going Dundee in a 3-year deal, and things sort of escalate. But, you know, and we look back now, like, even speaking to him after the St Mirren game, like, got on great with him, and, you know, it was just one of them things that sort of got out of control a wee bit, and it was just...
What would your ding-dongs usually be about? Size of each other's ding-dongs?
No, mate, just petty things, like, listen, I look back to one where it was that first year at Motherwell, and it was after all this Celtic thing, so we'd actually got another cup final, so we played Celtic in the cup final, and we had Hamilton last game of the season at home, and we'd equalled the clean sheet record, and we needed one more clean sheet to break the record. So all my family were for the game and that, and he pulls me the day before the game and goes,
Didn't he say you're not playing?
aye, mate, not. But we play Celtic the week later, and he goes, I'm changing the full, I'm resting everyone for the cup final. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, I'm playing, like, and he's like, no, I'm rested. Like, so anyway, we had a number 2 at the time, Russ Griffiths, chirpy little guy, English, but like proper chirpy, mate. He's one of them. He could have me on toast, like, with his banter. Like, he was witty, mate. But so obviously Russ hasn't kicked his arse the whole season, mate. Plays the game. We beat Hamilton 3-0. So breaks it, and mate, so you're getting in the biggest game of your career against Celtic in the cup final, and all week, mate. It got to the Wednesday. I had to say all week he was like clean sheet collector, or clean sheet record holder, mate. Just had me on you know, it was just like, I got to the Wednesday, mate. I was like, mate, you fucking ripped the arse out of this joke, like knock it in the head. And my head was all over, mate. But me and Robbo had a ding dong over. I was like, he's winding me up, like, it's fucking, I want to break the record. I want to play every, like.
Understand outfield players, mate, but like, I need to rest your goal.
Aye, mate, that was my argument with him. But listen, he's one of them. So I think in that one, Martin Foyle, the chief scout, was next door, and he had to come in between us. Like, Robbo was he was seen red, like, but he was going to tear the head off me. But yeah, he's an angry guy, mate. 2 hot-headed non-Irishmen. Same.
Trevor, are you vocal in interest in him?
Not in that.
I would say, I'd say you've got an opinion.
Mate, listen, I'm one of them annoying guys, like, you know, when you're doing a second day recovery and it's a head tennis game, I want to win, mate. I'm all in. Like, I'm the one of them busy guys that most of the lads hate, like, but, and again, it's the same in the match day, mate. I just want to win, like, and friggin' things aren't going well at half time, I will say my part, like, and the amount of times I got home this Saturday night and I think, what the fuck, you know, why'd you say that, or what you made it, but.
What was it Derek Adams said to you? Shut your mouth, you're just a goalie or something?
Shut your mouth, your opinion's irrelevant, you're just a goalkeeper, mate. That's what he said. We're getting beat 4-0 at half time against Shrewsbury, and I've come in, typical me, going, man. And Derek Adams walked in, I just, I felt that big, mate, like horrendous.
No, you don't have his dick feel.
Did you just phone to him, no?
Nah, I sat there like a good boy.
This is good. Didn't I just say this because he's sitting there, but where do you stand when like goalies or goalie coaches start saying stuff about outfield things at half time, full time?
Goalie coaches I'm not having at all.
It depends what they're saying, I suppose. Liam's quite vocal, but I always think like Liam knows the game, so I agree with a lot of stuff he's saying, but it was more like Griggsy would be more generic with something like "shut up, man." Like, so, no, something daft.
What would his shouts be?
Never, no one in the first tackles, like the one of the ones. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck off. But pure, like, intelligent.
Amazing.
How would you be goalie coaches and that, like coming in at half time and maybe
the goalie coach at Portsmouth? Oh no, it wasn't. That was a different one. There was one at first that I really liked. The second one I didn't. We again talked about Portsmouth. The physio was the assistant manager when I first got there, which fucking blew my mind. Me and him ended up being like best mates. He's like asking, he's like that to me on a Friday, like, do you want to know the team? So I was like, I said, yeah. Why got that? All right, what do you think? Stranger, like, no, the physio.
Physio.
He was like, and then the goalie coach, he got sacked, and then the goalie coach was the assistant manager.
Who was it? Colsey that came in? Was he?
No, Richie Barker came in.
Oh, and Anthony Williams, Taff.
And he was the assistant manager.
That's right.
So the goalie coach was the assistant manager, which I found fucking strange, mate. Like, like, see a goalie coach telling me what about how to play midfield, mate. I just
no.
And Taff as well. He didn't know whether her ball was pumped or stuff, mate. Like, he didn't have a clue, did he?
No.
But he was miles off it. But yeah.
Has there been any like top managers of goalies?
Was it Dino Zoff? Did he manage Italy or something?
Your boy Nuno.
Oh, so he is Nuno.
He was a goalie, mate.
No, Espirito Santo.
We're talking about goalie coaches. Me having I remember Tommy Wright was my under-21 goalie coach at Northern Ireland, and I've come in. We're getting beat by Iceland, made at home, getting tanked, and I've come in going. And Tommy's like as a goalie coach, mate, annihilated me in front. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Like,
I've never seen a goalie coach hammer a goalie.
Oh,
what,
mate,
so in front of the manager and the coach?
In front of everyone, mate.
For you?
Like proper, like was gonna kill me, mate. Like went mental and
as in saying what, to shut your mouth, like?
No, I started calling me out about some of the goals and that in front of the ball. You should have done that better.
Goalie union is a proper
Tommy,
thing.
Right?
Have
you ever met Tommy? Tommy's a big. You wouldn't mess with him. Like, but again, mate, and that's always stuck with me. Like, I've never seen it since. Like,
what about you? You and Woodsy were tight, weren't you, Stevie Woods?
No, but I used to always find it funny when say like Foster made a mistake, Lenny would turn round and shout, like, abuse Woodsy for it, but Woodsy's just sitting there like, what the fuck can I do? It's the worst thing. I imagine you must have
managers do that, don't they? The goalie coach gets it, the goalie.
Because goalie coaches take to do with set plays now, like, don't they?
Do them.
And I feel sorry for some goalie coaches. You see them on the bench and like something happens from a set player, someone's
so lost.
And you see the managers looking around at them and they're like that there.
But the best Woodsy used to be up in the stand. So Lenny
So
said,
look
try find him.
Brilliant. Right, lads, we're at St Mirren v Killie. What a crazy game. Only one place is that the VAR decisions are wild now.
That was constant.
We love Sean Rooney, right? What a guy. He was brilliant when he came on here. But how's he not sent off, mate?
No.
He's just booting fuck him.
It's a red card. When he boots for sale.
For sale.
Aye,
But
I'm
the funny thing is,
surprised,
Rooney then ends up getting the penalty.
Big Joe Wright gave him a wank and gets sent off.
What does he do? And then
I still can't see that clearly.
I've seen Derek McInnes's interview first. And he's raging like 2 weeks' wages for something like fucking hell. So when you see it back, I get it, I've only seen one angle, but doesn't it look like that
I
bad?
can't see
Ping your
it.
balls.
Does he give him like a wee fucking bobby slap?
See, when
I
we
think
were in
that's what it
England,
is, eh?
especially in England, that used to happen all
All
the
the
time.
time.
Aye.
See, Peter Murphy, who's now the Queen of South manager, he used to play with Carlisle centre mid, mate. He always used to like ping your balls or like nip you.
I hate
But
players
just
like
constant
that.
throughout the game,
Aye.
mate. I was like, do that again.
I remember,
Why do you get sent off? Fucking give that
I
guy a
remember,
wank.
I remember Stephen McLean. Remember St Johnstone, the striker.
manager, huh?
I remember him doing it to me once, mate, and going, "Are you cold, wee man?" Feeling mine. I swear, it always sticks with me, mate.
Was that a corner or something?
Corner, mate, and he's standing on me and he just feels it and he goes, "You cold, wee man?" But that would have got pulled up with VAR now. Would it? Or I don't know.
I think you're set
Well,
off for it now.
that's what it looked like. He got sent off for anyway. The goal disallowed last minutes, therefore should have been disallowed.
Aye, kicks him in the face, didn't he?
Aye.
But Big Rooney's just booting him. Have you seen it?
Aye.
No, I've not seen that one.
Oh, he doesn't want to criticise Rooney.
No, I've not. Obviously,
It's like went to hurdle him, and then I think Vassell's like half on the ball. So it's one of them where he's going to like boot it away from him being under him, but he's like booted him on the side. But I thought he was going to get sent off, and
It's a weird game. Was even Mandron getting subbed after 19 minutes?
He should be sent off
I
as well.
know,
didn't he?
that's
If I was
like-
Dale McKinnon Saturday, I'd be in a rage.
I know.
But Mandron should be sent off, mate, now.
Yeah, definitely.
Second yellow, innit?
It is, but they can't pull that up, can they, in the VAR?
Was it the wee ref looked like he couldn't be arsed. He was just like,
Go on, mate.
Can they pull a
Aye,
second
signs
yellow
one,
up?
they know,
They
no.
can't.
see if you were a ref, would you do that for VAR? See the people like do two hands, they're fucking showing off, man. I love. We kind of Celtic and then he did you see the ref in the Celtic?
What was that one? What was that?
He's like,
I think he confused himself in the end, didn't he?
that's like,
What was that all about? I was thinking,
I was howling mate on the.
usually it's just a VAR. No go.
Aye.
Is that? Oh no!
I'd be all for that. Like.
Ooh, dude.
Here we fucking go!
Oh no, he's going to find Joe Wright 2 weeks' wages as well.
Can he?
You ever been fined 2 weeks' wages?
No.
Mate, you know the story when we went out the Saturday before when the league was Swindon?
aye.
Remember, I've told Aldershot 2 weeks he done us for that.
Did he? Aye.
Mate, I
Did you
remember.
not fight it? No.
Remember getting the fucking your pay slip and you're like, mate,
Tough month. That,
fight it
mate.
with him, mate. You kidding?
No.
He,
that's
if you
true.
see if you took him to the PFA, mate, he'd murder you, man. Like he'd come for you. But see when you get your pay slip, mate, and you've been done 2 weeks' wages, you're like, I don't know how I'm living this, man.
I think that's a right harsh 2 weeks wages.
aye,
fine,
2
that.
weeks is hard.
Especially like at boys at our level, like we're not on
Aye.
mega.
But to be fair to Dale, it's like the second time.
It's the second time he's been sent off, but like, I think it's like
If it was a
How
tackle,
many red
Aye,
cards
that's
have
red
red
right.
card
season?
Killie's had,
Five, I
but
think, yeah.
if it was a tackle, then I could see you would never
it's
say
like,
it. But it's the fact that
it's like you're saying, like that goes on in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think
give
that's a
somebody
red.
the odd wank here.
I don't think that's a red, mate.
I think Willie
No, I
Collins
think
is
it's
a
a
Tell you
red.
what, see the
Yeah,
angle I seen, I don't think it's a red. But
Maybe,
again, I've obviously not seen the angle that maybe the rest probably seen 2 or 3. But the angle I seen, that wee bobby slap.
ref's like, I need that for another. I want to see it again.
Get
Gonna
wee,
slow that down.
we need to get Willie Collins to clear that one up, don't we?
The dick flick. Molly come out up like that. I'm up for it. Did you ever have anybody you played with that would get fined constantly? We had an Algerian guy at Swindon, Mehdi Karouche, mate, used to get fined all the time.
Surely we Gowser, Paul McGowan would have always get fined. He used to always get sent in for training.
But then see with Gowser stuff, mate, it was just because he was an angry bastard.
Aye, he wanted to win.
Because he wanted to win, wasn't it?
Aye, it was never anything like that.
Any use fined all the time?
We had Chimbonda at Sunderland, mate. Chimbonda and Diouf, mate. 2 of the strange, like Roy Keane signings, mate. He signed them 2 boys. Like Chimbonda used to do this thing where he had parked in Keane's spot one day with Keane. So Keane notoriously didn't come in every day of the week, so Jim Bonded's parked in the spot one day thinking he wasn't coming in because it was early on in the week, but Keane come in this day. So made a big, like, he loved the meeting when something had happened. He would call like a team meeting, and he brought it up in the team meeting about things. So the next day Keane comes in, Keane's parked there. So Keane's like the closest spot to the door. We walk in. Next morning he come in, Jim Bonded's parked on the path, mate, right beside the door. Didn't care, mate. So that's just the strangest signing, like in terms of like Roy Keane, what you'd expect. But
And would Keane find him?
I find him, mate. He was late every day. Him and Jeff, mate, late. Like,
And he hates lateness, doesn't
Aye.
I was the one who got called. Remember the three boys were late for Keane on the bus. Stokesy was one of them. One of them was a goalie, Martin Phillip, and I got the call to go on the bench because I was sitting in my flat, mate, and they were playing Barnsley. But yeah, they were like 30 seconds late. Usually that's like a fine, isn't it? But nah, Keane just boom.
he? So you had to drive up to Barnsley?
No, a driver came and took me down to Barnsley. I had to sit on the bench the next day. But yeah, because the boys were, I think it was like a minute late. Genuine think it was a minute late to pick up at Wynyard and just told the bus to go and left them behind.
That was an amazing story at Stokes' drive behind the bus.
class,
The boys.
Aye, mate, phoning the boys.
What was it? What's the worst you've ever seen Keane?
To be fair, the worst story that came out was the time he slapped Dean Whitehead against.
I played with Dean Whitehead.
Aye, good guy, mate, but.
It's Keane with DNA.
You're looking great, mate. See that tan? Telling you, look fucking great. You do.
The story came out that he slapped Dean Whitehead, but I wasn't involved. But I think I got the knock. I was on loan at Chesterfield at the time, and it was the day after I'd been home. We'd played on the Tuesday night, and I'd been home and flew back on the Friday. I had like a family illness at home. The manager gave us a few days off, so I'm flying back on the Thursday, the day after the game, that he had slapped Dean Whitehead, and my phone goes, it's a withheld number. Answer, it's Roy Keane, mate. He's like, he just went on a rant for 2 minutes. Remember who you're fucking representing. Don't take liabilities in this football club. And so what I think had happened, obviously, they had I think he's phoned Chesterfield to get a check up on how I'm doing. The manager said, and he's probably thought he's taking the piss. Maybe he thought he did say it on the phone to me. You forget I was a young boy away from home as well. So he probably thought I was at it, trying to get a few days off. But genuinely, it was a family illness, mate. And just went mad, mate, about who you're representing, and then just hung up the phone, mate. And madness.
Did you like him?
I did like him, mate. I genuinely did like him. I can see why he he got us promoted, but I can see why he struggled, because he was that demanding and he couldn't understand why people weren't at that level. Like, but
Did you not punch Dave Conley that we played with? Does Dave not tell that story?
no, I didn't see that. No, but I remember him and Graham Kavanagh having a head-to-head. Like, that was after we played a Resi game again.
He's mad and all.
Is that a Resi game?
Jordan Henderson told the story in that one of them podcasts.
Hey, what is it?
So we had played, there was two teams. One team played Gateshead and the other went and played, can't remember who it was. So we got beat 2-0 by Gateshead. We were useless. And so Keane was away with the other team, probably like more first team lads. But we had like Graham Kavanagh, Stan Varga played that game. And so we had finished the game and Neil Bailey, the manager's come in and says, lads, don't leave. Like, we had all drove to Gateshead. It's only 15 minutes from Sunderland, and he was like, lads, don't leave. He's need to go back to the Academy of Light. The gaffer wants to have a meeting with you.
Oh, brutal, man.
So we get back, mate, was sitting and wait for 3 hours. So they were playing. I can't remember who they played, but it was quite a distance away. Like,
Made you sit for 3 hours?
3 hours, mate, so we're sitting there, and then he comes in, mate, and he just goes round to everyone, mate, like just annihilating them, like. And then he got the young non-Irish lad, Robbie Weir, and he had said some comment about, it was something about, the way you're going this time next year, you'll be a taxi driver or something like that. It was like and Cav just had enough, mate. Like, Cav was like, can't fucking speak to young boys like that. And yeah, stuck up for the young lad, like, so It was hero, but Keane was like, you want to fight me, don't you? Like in a passive aggressive way, like trying to get, you want to fight me, don't you? And Cav was like ready to go, like, but yeah, so mate, that was common. Like, there was so many times, because he's so confrontational, but personally, I found him quite, like, I thought he was funny, mate. Some of the little comments he would, because he always joined in training. I remember him coming up to me once and saying, just think you can tell the grandkids you play with the greatest. Just little, like,
that.
brilliant, mate.
Graham Kavanagh had the weirdest fringe I've ever seen.
Mate.
And he was
nicest
also,
eyes ever, though, mate.
He was
Did
also
you have this?
Beautiful eyes.
he was grey haired for about 23.
He had a baldy
Some player,
with a
mate.
fringe,
Aye,
didn't he?
good, mate.
He'd
What a
spite,
player.
aye, good player, Graham Kavanagh.
Yeah.
I'm sure he played with Carlisle as well. I'm sure he played against
Aye,
did,
aye, he managed
Aye,
him
good
as
player.
well. Aye.
He was a fucking unit, mate.
Aye,
He was
he's
one of them on the pitch. See what you're saying about young boys?
Aye.
I just signed for Swindon. I'm sure he was helping you being on the opposition. Do you know what I
I
mean?
would be like,
They're the best guys in football.
he's
They
an agent now.
Is he an agent?
He does that white collar boxing as well, mate. Tough guy. Like,
Does he?
Aye, mate. He's done a few of them fights. Like,
He definitely would have punched fuck out of Keane then, wouldn't he?
aye, mate. That's one thing when Keane first. I remember his first meeting, how small he was, mate.
Because we were speaking about that on that podcast as well, how small he was.
I couldn't believe it, mate. Like,
Is he?
he's so small, and then he used to wear these big pointy shoes as well, which made his feet look massive, mate. That's my mum always says the first time she seen him as well outside the state. One thing she noticed about him was these big, massive shoes, mate, and wee skinny legs.
Was it?
But you imagine he's the type of guy you'd have to kill him to beat him, wouldn't you?
No,
In a fight.
Would players ever like answer him back?
A couple of times, mate, which then led like the confrontations, mate. Like we had some big characters in the end. Like, you know, he brought the likes of Dwight York and that in, and you know, big characters like, and
What was York like?
legend, mate.
Would
Unbelievable
he take
guy.
young boys out? 'Cause he loves a night out, didn't he?
Oh, I loved the night out, mate. And he had this penthouse in the centre of Newcastle, mate. Like some good after parties there back in the day. Like, but yeah, Yorkie was a legend, mate. But in terms of working hard in the gym, mate, he used to do this thing, get all the young lads in, and this press up thing he used to do to 100, mate. But so after about 40, you're shaking, mate. But he used to make it, and he got to the point where you went that often, you would, you know, maybe 4 weeks down the line, you were able to do the 100, but he just drew it. But in terms of working hard and his body, mate, incredible.
Was he a grafter, mate? How you? I
Oh,
thought he
no,
did.
you wouldn't
imagine
add that. But again, you don't get to that level, mate, not being a grafter.
No.
do you?
I also think that Man U mentality for that sort of Sir Alex Ferguson era, like they probably wouldn't have got away with no being like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
fucking winners, wouldn't
Yeah. Machine.
It was his passing scratchy.
they?
Who?
Sorry, it's a private joke with us and Alex Ferguson.
Is
Sorry,
it?
let's see before we go to Trev's career, because we have been quite critical of him. So we need to give him a bit of credit. Hibs, first win of the season. Well done, David Gray.
Aye, good.
Deserved against St Johnstone.
Definitely looked it for the highlights anyway. Yeah.
What had changed in their performances, or joint performances have actually been alright?
Well, again, we're going off of highlights where you don't see St Johnstone to have a highlight, so tells you it's comfortable, doesn't it? But they've got good players. Hibs have always had good players, good areas. Boyle's goal was fucking excellent, wasn't it?
Great goal.
Dead similar
Yeah.
to
Cadden
Lawrence's
makes a
goal in terms of the
difference,
dive and the finish. But I feel like I say this every year, but I just can't see Hibs not being alright this year. Like, and I know they've not started the season well, 5 games in before they get their first win, but I think we'll see an improvement in this Hibs team over the last couple of years.
Do you know what I like about him? And I knew Dave would have this about him. He dropped Boyle. Which is a big thing today as a Hibs manager, isn't it? Dropping Martin Boyle, like no many have done it. So surprised when I seen that he wasn't playing. But you can also see that they respect him as well, because Boyle comes on. and
You get the
fucking brilliant.
reaction off him, yeah.
You get a tune out of him, so
Is it true the boy Bowie's out for?
Apparently it's a,
few
which is a bit of a loss in it, because he looked.
He's looked decent, aye.
yeah, he looked good. When
But
I think
Dwight Gale.
I think Chris Cadden makes a big difference. I know you.
His energy.
Lewis Miller for the
But
2 minutes at Celtic Park. He said he was good.
Just kept talking about that 2 minutes, how good they were. But they've signed Dwight Gale, was it?
Dwight Gale.
Dwight Gale.
I'm surprised. That's, he's a bit old, isn't he? 34?
34.
34, I think that's that old,
36,
mate.
34.
No, 34's young. Fuck. 36.
You can imagine he's the type that looks after himself, like
Of
Dwight Gale,
course,
don't you?
mate. Of course.
Think it's a good signing?
I do think it's a good signing, Yes, no. I think any striker that scored goals previously is a good signing for Hibs.
I remains to be seen, doesn't it? But it seems quite similar to the sort of Adam Lafondra signing last year, didn't it? Adam Lafondra, although didn't set the world alight because Hibs obviously didn't as a team, but he scored goals. Adam Lafondra when he played, he was a threat. Dwight Gale will be the same. He's been a goal scorer all his career, hasn't he? But I do think the boy Bowie's a miss. I thought he looked decent when he
Aye, did.
played
You're
in a few of the games.
And Neil never played it. Well, I think it was suspension or injury, Neil. He never played anyway, but would you expect him to put Neil straight back in, or would it be another way?
Yeah,
Captain,
definitely. Yeah.
Made him club captain at the start of the year. He's got to play.
You know what I find about the point you said Boyle there, that must be so hard because they've been at Hibs for so long. They'll be mates as well.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? I think that must be so difficult for him to do that.
But it's good, and it's what you need
No,
to do.
that's
That's
brilliant. You have to separate yourself, so good on him.
The big striker, what's his name?
Privasic.
Kukarich.
He's a handful, isn't he?
Kukarich.
I like him, he's good player, that
He's a
boy.
handful, isn't he? Although what the St Johnstone goalies I know they were probably slaughter goalies, but what the St Johnstone goalies doing for the first, they are in trouble, aren't they, St Johnstone, let's be honest.
Well, we've said a couple of things in the podcast so far about knowing your best 11. I think not knowing who your number one is that must be a manager's worst nightmare, no?
And a goalie.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, you look back to when Dundee United got relegated a couple of years ago. Like it was.
Better get in.
It was, it was a big factor why they went down. So it is important, but listen, I think hopefully he gives the keeper a good run of games, and he finds a bit of form. But I think there's other issues as well.
That's another sending off for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
and probably their best player.
Well, Kim Pionka and CDB are probably two best players, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're looking at their team, the two biggest threats you look at, aren't they? But there'll be a big miss for them.
And then their next 3 away to Ross County, Celtic and Rangers after that.
So Ross County's so important, isn't it?
Big. And I'm sure when I was looking at it, it's Ross County, Celtic, Rangers, Ross County again. I'm sure they play Ross County twice in the next 5 games or something.
Ross County,
but Ross County's home record's always been good.
That's what they're
it's maybe not a bad thing they've got the Celtic and Rangers in the next 3 when they're missing them two, because you're not really expected to get. It's more important they got them back for. So we'll see.
Sorry, Trev. This is maybe I'm not going to word this right. What striker do you hate coming up against most? Now I know you're not directly up against them, but maybe you struggle against them.
Like when currently now?
In the league.
Need to be reserve game just in a few minutes.
At the minute, I was going to say.
Anything in the 23s that
I don't know, mate. Kyogo's movement's a disgrace, isn't it? Like it's unbelievable.
See, does that spook you as a goalie? It'd be interesting. I know. See, when he does stand offside, like, are you standing goal thinking, what the fuck's it like?
Nah, not really that, but
bad question.
No, it's a good but
that is a good question.
It does spook defenders, though, doesn't it?
Aye.
It definitely does. It's talking about meetings leading up to the week, when you're of course, mate. But again, it's talking about not being spooked by it. But of course, naturally, if you see Kyogo there, and his timing's that good, he always seems to get back on side, and then, but he's so when he's on it, mate, and I'd say he at the minute, mate, and currently it would be Kyogo.
We need to say about yesterday, how long he again, I didn't see a lot of him. It's usually saying how long he takes to get a shot of me.
Missed a big chance, didn't he? About 46 minutes or something.
You could point to about 30 Dessers chances like that over the last sort of season and a half, can't you? Where it looks as if he's got a one-on-one or a great opportunity, and he takes an extra touch, and at times it's looked for him. It's looked good for him when he's chopped somebody and scored. And how composes that? But then times like the one yesterday, it's fucking.
I've heard Fatty said a few times on the show here, and I heard him saying it yesterday in commentary, like exactly what he's been saying on here. So. He had that opportunity, didn't he, where he could have hit it, but
I tell you what, I'm not saying for a minute it's a penalty, but see if he falls, I reckon he gets a penalty.
Because of contact.
Well, Ross Keane just comes and shoves him in the back, so see if he does fall, he's going to get a penalty, isn't he? But obviously,
mate, how's the Arsenal goal not a foul?
Oh, mate, unbelievable. I was saying that last night. Gabriel just double hand shoves Romero, but again, that's like, this is a gripe I have with referees all the time, right? So we say how much we hate diving. Sometimes you need to over-exaggerate to get fouls. Genuinely. If Romero hits the deck, that 100% gets overturned. 100%.
Wild. See, as a goalie, is it strikers that shoot early? Is that hard to get set?
Of course, mate. Even strikers I play with, I always tell them, like against certain goalkeepers, you can see a weakness in them that they don't get set quick. They're always they're always bounced before. So if you can hit your shot while a lot of keepers have a habit of, even the best in the world, Neuer does it, but his timing's perfect. But if you can hit the shot while the keeper's in the air, by the time they get set and then go again, so yeah, it's cool.
I see that he's the best goalie in the world, Neuer.
I think he was, mate. I think sort of time's caught up with him a little bit, but for me, I think Courtois is the best in the world, mate. Even though, but
joke, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Right, just a wee bit about Trev's career. Well done. It's been brilliant, mate. Well done.
Isn't it?
Fine.
Fascinating.
It is. It's been really good. He's played with Big Kev at Sunderland.
Big Kev, eh?
Did you, mate?
Where's he gone?
He's
doing the dance. But he's found his niche.
Has he? It's a good watch as well, the dart.
It's good, isn't it?
It is good, mate.
How is it, big man? Was Kev, he's a lot older than you now?
Kev was massive time, mate. He was. He was big time.
Love
mate.
it, tell us.
He was. He was he was a good guy, but I always remember he was quite tough on the younger boys, like.
Oh, he's big on that as well. Wait, doesn't he like that, didn't he?
No, but in a way, like, listen, I was a young lad moving away from. I was a bit wet behind the ears in terms of, I didn't get the banter and all coming in the change room, and Big Kev would be ruthless with it. And I think maybe I expecting put the arm around me a bit, but but All I remember with Kev, the most thing I remember is him getting his big bunions rubbed in the mornings, mate.
Oh, mate, you still got them.
Have you seen that?
Oh, we were in Germany, mate. See when he took his feet out, mate. Oh my God.
That's my biggest memory of Kev at Sunderland, his bunions. But
Was he good, mate, down there?
he was, mate. He done well. I actually dished out a picture the other day. So we were on the bench the night we won the league at West Ham, me and Kev, and there's a picture of me with the arms around him, like, so. I'd obviously
Must have had big fucking arms to get your arms around him.
I know, but no, but good lad, mate. He was a good lad, but good player, and I think he had a lot of injuries. I think at that point he was starting to get, serious injuries, and he didn't play a massive part. That was towards the end of Mick McCarthy's time, and
Mate, I thought bunions for like 60-year-olds.
I've not seen Kev's feet. Fucking still gutted I missed that Germany trip, so.
The bunions.
I've not seen feet.
Are they bogging, aye?
Oh, mate, the bunions are fucking huge. I don't know if he gets his shoes on, mate, genuinely.
I can imagine just 5 yum-yums at the end of his foot, mate. Yeah. Honestly, I can't.
It's incredible. Well, Kev's hero's Niall Quinn. He loves Quinny, didn't he? Was he your manager as well?
yeah,
He took over for a bit, didn't he?
Quinny's a legend, mate. The nicest guy I ever met. I've a good story about Quinny where he got me out of the shit, mate, massively. So I've spoke out before about my gambling in the past. So I was about 19 at the time, and got myself in a bit of a pickle, and I've ended up going to Quinny and basically telling him, listen, it was the day before we were back pre-season. Steve Bruce had just took over as manager. So I went and seen Quinny, and he was like, listen, write down. I was basically living this champagne lifestyle on a friggin' WKD wage, mate. I was and gambling on top of it, and it was write down every debt you owe, whoever you owe it to, I'll pay it off for you. So it was a few grand, mate, it was, and he said,
paid it?
But he was the only way you could, I was listen, I'll repay you in any way. He was the only way you can repay me is Steve Bruce just come in as gaffer. He said, we've got Craig Gordon, Martin Phillip, he wants another international goalkeeper. He's that'll cost me millions of pounds. He said, we know you're good enough, the academy people, I know you're good enough. Get your head down pre-season and, work your balls off. And so I've went away, mate. I've worked my balls off pre-season, and we talk again about luck, mate. The day before the first team were going pre-season to Portugal, Craig Gordon gets injured, so I get called up. I was nowhere near the first team at the time, mate. I get called up to go. I don't think Bruce knew my name, to be honest. But they hadn't signed a keeper by this point, so I go away with the first team, mate. End up playing a couple of pre-season friendlies, doing really well. And the day we come back, Bruce pulls us in. He's like, I want to give you a new 3-year contract, and really impressed with you. So just full sort, it was one of them. And I remember first game of the season, I was on the bench in the Premier League, and I bumped into Quinn after in the box, and he was like, that's us evens now, but that story always sticks with me, mate.
That's
So
unreal,
he did pay the debt?
Paid the debt straight off, and didn't even, I was thinking, so obviously,
Wow.
yeah, so again, I got myself in a pickle, and thanks to Niall Quinn. And I remember him, it wasn't just one of them, write your things down, I'm busy, I'll be back. He sat with me for 40 minutes and talked about me when he moved to Arsenal as a young lad from Ireland, and he gambled, mate, and he talked about how it was the drinking culture back then as well, and he was doing all that. But I've not a bad word to say about him. Legend of a guy. Legend of a guy.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody else at Sunderland you really liked? What did they play?
Older players, no, but I had Martin O'Neill as manager as well after Keane. What a guy he was. Would you have had him at Celtic?
I was really young when he was at Celtic.
Oh, were you?
I was full time when he was the manager when I was there. I used to.
Yeah, I thought Martin O'Neill was
Had something
unreal,
about him,
mate.
didn't he?
Yeah,
But
great
you know
guy.
that,
Yeah,
Distant, no.
no, mate, he wasn't. See, even thinking the last couple of days before coming on here, was me and O'Neill used to sit after away games. He would come down, and obviously I was a Rangers fan growing up as a kid. He was obviously so we'd sit down and talk about the old firm games of the past, and I used to always say about his team. I used to get the fear whenever Alan Thompson used to be whipping corners in.
Free kicks. That's what
That
Rangers
was
about Martin O'Neill's team.
and we used to talk about stuff like that, mate. And he was, I loved Martin O'Neill, but again, mate, he ended my Sunderland career. That was the final nail for me. And
Why? What happened?
so again, I'd been on the bench for maybe most of the season. Simon Mignolet, I don't know if you remember, Mignolet got elbowed off Heskey, and he was supposed to be out for about 12 weeks, but this is about 7 weeks down the line. Kieran Westwood was playing by this point, and I'm on the bench. So we're playing Man City on New Year's Day, And we always stayed in the hotel before a home game as well. So we're in the hotel, and Westy comes in my room about 9 o'clock at night, like full of the cold, and he goes, Trev, all the best tomorrow. Like, he says, I'm going home, I can't play, like, I'm too ill to play. So you're playing tomorrow, like, so.
Sorry, who he's playing next day?
Man City, mate, at the Stadium of Light. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I'm like thinking, I'm making my debut in the Prem tomorrow against City, mate. I'm on the phone with my granda, trying to get my granda flights over. It was like an early kick-off, and couldn't get him flights over. But obviously in my head, by this point, I'm like 100%, I'm playing, didn't sleep a wink. Then I remember going down for breakfast the next morning, mate, and who walks in his tracksuit? Big Simon Mignolet with a big face mask. He was supposed to be out for like 12 weeks, mate.
Oh my God.
So my heart sinks straight away, and I'm like, you know, don't you? You know when you get that feeling, you know you're not playing, mate. And we get to the stadium, and Bodzer, the analyst guy, comes and pulls me. He's like, Gaffer wants to see you. And when I mate, and O'Neill was like, listen, Trev, like, there's not, like, we got on great. It was. He sort of put his arm around me, and he goes, listen, there's nothing I can say to you now that'll make it. And I just said to him, why? Like, that's the only question. And I always remember, you talked about stature earlier. That's what he said to me. I don't think you've got the stature to play in a game like this, like a big, like this sort of game. And I was like, well, these are the wee bits of luck you want to sort of get that stature and go. And mate, we end up playing the game. We'll win 1-0. The boy, it was a South Korean boy, I think it was, scored for us.
I remember the goal. It was like last minute,
mate,
and you're like, aye.
Simon didn't have a save to make the whole game, mate. And you think back and look, mate. So
At that time you've had it.
mate, I could write it could be a sob story, couldn't it? But it's football, mate. People don't see that side of it. It's tough. But for me, I was 23, 24 at the time. Mate, I hold the record for being on the bench for Sunderland without ever, the guy who does the programmes, he contacted me like a year and a half ago. He was like, want to do a piece on ex-players. He was like, oh, you don't mind me putting a stat in? You hold the record for being on the bench without ever making a first team appearance.
I must be up there for Celtics as well, mate.
Aye, so...
Reserves, so. On the bench for the reserves.
Aye, but for me it was a final night. I went in and seen O'Neill the next day, and he wanted to get me a new contract, but I'd been on loan to Bury previously, and I knew they wanted to sign me. They wanted to take me back on loan, but I knew they would have took me permanent. And
so when you're back now, would you have signed that contract?
well, that's the thing, mate. Probably not, mate. I would have stayed at Sunderland, you know what I mean? But at the time, I was 23 at the time, and a bit, so...
Some big names he's played as well, mate, look at it.
And I was just looking there, Dwight York, Andy Cole, Keenan Richardson, Chopra, Debril Cisse. You talk about gambling problems, Chopra.
Aye, mate, yeah.
Played with him, he was...
Did you play
he was on loan at Blackpool.
He was a bad gambler, mate.
He was like, I'll never forget, I remember I was with him once, and he showed me his bet slip, and it was one race, and he bet on 4 horses. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, who you backing, mate? Who you rooting for? Who you rooting for?
But see, mate, I'm recovering gambling addict. Like, I can, for people who aren't addicts, that seems mental, but I'm sat here thinking, I've probably been there, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, but them names, mate, massive.
How was Andy Cole?
Unreal, mate, like, unreal guy. And I actually ended up playing with his son, Devante, at Motherwell years later, and I was amazed that his dad remembered me, mate. Aye, Devante was saying his dad remembered playing. And again, we'll go back to Roy Keane, mate. And I remember being in Keane's team and training one day, and Andy Cole chipped me twice, mate, in a small-sided game. From like 18 yards, mate. And I remember the disgust in Keane's face, mate. I felt, mate, I was horrendous, like, but...
Cole was a player, though, wasn't he?
Mate, he was a joke, but I think he was maybe 35 when he came to us or something, but you could still see his quality. And again, mate, I'll show you the thing. I played in the Resi game with Andy Cole and Dwight York, mate.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Like, York, he was a midfielder at this point, but Cole played up front. It was Andy Cole and David Healy up front, and Dwight York in midfield, mate. Like,
who was better, York or Cole, training in it?
York, mate. York was a disgrace, mate. How good he was at football, mate. And this is, mate, he was playing holding midfield.
I was just about to say, see if you're a striker and you go back holding midfielder, mate, you're the better player. No?
Aye, so good, mate. He was.
Is there not that mental stat with Andy Cole though? Like, whatever amount of goals he scored in the Premier League, 200, not one pen. He's not scored a pen.
Aye, not pens. I've heard him talk about him.
Wow.
And I think he scored something like 30-something goals for Newcastle.
I didn't agree with pens,
not one penalty.
That's mad, isn't it?
Did Roy Keane join in training a lot?
He did, mate, quite a lot.
How would he be? Would he be
I think the championship season he did, whenever we went in the Premier League, I think when we got better players in, I think he thought,
I'll leave it.
That's when he started just sitting on the ball on the hill, mate, and watching training. But
is that how he done it?
Aye, just to sit in the in the ball and just like watch, and Tony Loughlin, his assistant, would take training. But when Keane joined in, mate, one thing that always sticks out about, he'd hate lads who didn't pass forward, and I think I heard him in the podcast as well, but he was always on lads to pass forward, mate. Yeah. But
mate, see if you're in his team, mate,
Mate, I had a full year of it. A year in his team, mate. I felt like I was in his team every day, mate. Couldn't do anything right, man.
I know. I remember I threw the ball out one time. There was a lad, Billy Dennehy, a young Irish lad. I threw the ball out to Billy, and Keane was in our team as well. And Billy's got a man maybe 5 yards. He ends up giving the ball away, mate. They break and score, and Keane's going mental at me. Know your fucking players. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, he had 5-10 yards space, like in a small. I don't give him the ball, basically. Like, know your players, mate. Poor Billy, mate, like must have felt horrendous.
Did Keane ever smash anybody into?
Him and Ross Wallace had one, mate,
and Roscoe could tackle, mate.
And Keane's done Roscoe first, mate.
Right.
And then Roscoe's absolutely minced him after, mate. I think I've heard people talking podcasts about it. It got a bit feisty that time.
Did it? Mate, see Ross Wallace, he was the best tackling winger I've ever seen. He would tricky wee guy, mate.
Aye.
He could fucking
nail him.
Yeah.
Couldn't he?
Yeah, he could.
He was a taxi bastard, wasn't he?
Good lad, I like.
Great guy.
I always really like people that get smashed in training, bounce back up, don't say it, and then get them back up.
Aye.
And what did Keane say when Wallace smashed him? Was he ready?
No, just took it, mate.
Again, good that. He just bounced up. Your hero, my lookalike, Stevie Bruce.
Stevie Bruce, how was he?
Again, like going on lad's story that I told about Quinn earlier, you know, obviously got off to a decent start with him, but he just when a manager just takes a liking to you, mate. Again, he had me the first season anyway, had me, Craig Gordon and Martin Phillip, who was an experienced international, and for some reason...
Was he Austrian, Phillip?
No, he was Hungarian. He's actually passed away now, mate. He died Martin died at like 33 years old, mate, like mad of, but again, great lad, mate, but back on the burst, like he just took a liking to me, mate, and again that season I was on the bench more or less the full season with him, and his goalkeeping coach Nigel Spink was absolute legend, mate. He made his debut against Bayern Munich for Aston Villa in the Champions League final, mate, when they won, and learn off people like that. But Bruce was brilliant.
Were you getting the win bonus on the bench time?
Aye, mate, we got decent win bonus in that, yeah.
Wasn't that, innit?
Especially after I cleared my debts, mate, it was lovely.
So, classic, me and Simon have been waiting for this, but how would you look back in your days when you were with
Go on, Andy.
Portsmouth for this man?
Wee Si, he was just...
Wee Si, like it. Wee fat Si with him all that.
Did you fat then?
You know what he was good at, right? You were injured loads, weren't you? But you were good at telling everyone how shit we were. How wrong everything was.
It was so, innit?
He was our best player, by the way. I think you only played 5.
Cut that.
No, I played 20 or something, 20 games.
Did you?
Maybe 16 or something.
Well, obviously I missed the first, because I came on loan maybe 6 games in, didn't I? And then, but...
Say that again,
And he was your best player?
No, I was when he was on it, mate. Were you skipper when you played?
Captain of Portsmouth, wee man,
But you just couldn't get fit, could you?
Nah, fuck.
Like,
my back's been fucked since then.
My main memory of you at Portsmouth, this thing you had with your bike.
My bike, remember it?
But no, did you not start like a Twitter page for
Instagram.
It? What was it, George or something was it called?
What was my bike called again? Remember I used to come and get a picture of it?
You've never told us.
So I bought a racing, but I couldn't drive at the time, so I bought Portsmouth's beautiful, by the way, right on the seaside. So we lived in South Sea. It was like a 45-minute walk to the stadium, but I could bike it in 10 minutes. So I was quite quirky then by then with the mod haircut and stuff like that. And the guys messaged me saying, mate...
So like a motorbike?
No, a fucking cycling bike.
Oh, right, okay.
So I used to cycle to training every day. What was it I called it, mate?
I thought it was George, you know.
Something like that. And I would get the boys to come and I'd take it in the dressing room and that, wouldn't it? Sit on it, like, sit on my bike. I loved it, mate.
But I'm sure you started a social media page for it.
I was. Soccer M done something with me and my bike. Remember that?
You started our Instagram page about your bike?
I would just take pictures of me and my bike and I'd put it next to us in bed and stuff like that.
Let's keep it into him.
That was our captain, mate. We're trying to win promotion.
No, but the reason why I would be so vocal is because...
No, you were, mate. You were like... Because you were captain now. No, is that what you mean?
No, but like, I came for a guy who everything that we were doing was so precise in terms of how you trained, how we played, the food that you eat. Portsmouth had just got out of debt that year, wasn't it?
That's right.
And it was a bit of a shambles, mate.
Mate, it was a shit show. Like it was.
You're talking about that being a shambles.
And
You created an Instagram for your
I
bike.
did think that at the time. Probably, I don't know.
We caught that bit of it today.
Oh, fucking keep it a bit. Do you know what it probably was? See, because I was so strict under the canal, my first year away from it, I was just like, I'm going to fucking be a free spirit here, man.
So what we need, Paul, is we need the punters out there to find this. Find this bike for us, or find any picture we can with this bike.
Yeah, I would drive her mad, my missus, the bike king. Because I'm so obsessed with it, mate.
We could be looking for a new host after this episode.
Here, but what a club though.
Oh,
You know, the
amazing
setup,
club, mate.
even the people around it, like my family still speak about how nice, you know, when you go into the lounges and that, how nice the security people were and that, and but just unfortunate we were there at the time.
Do you remember I acted as a steward once when I was fucking injured? Do you remember
What's
that?
happening here?
Mate, I was, I got pally with the stewards. So see, match day, I was up for a carry on.
Aye, of course.
Different now. I was at the steward going, let me just see if I could get away with me stewarding a game. So I've still got a picture on my Instagram, me and the stewards, I'm standing with the yellow jacket and I'm standing at one of the games as a steward.
Did anyone notice you? No?
I was a player, I was a captain. Well, Johnny Errol was a captain, but he never played that. Let's not go there. But no,
Who was the characters? So who was the other characters on that team? Was Big Billy Paynter there?
Jed, were you there when we cut Jed's suit jacket?
Aye.
We were on the way to races, mate. We just stayed like celebrating Portsmouth staying up, mate. Fucking embarrassing. But they took us to the races that day. So Jed Wallace, who's now went on to play to West Brom and all that.
He's a good player,
very
but
good player. Chirpy as fuck, mate. But a great boy, I loved him.
Was that the boy who was at Millwall?
Millwall.
Aye,
So
really good
we
player.
were on the bus going there. It's probably one of his first times drinking. Because I don't think he started drinking
No,
until that
that's right.
season. So he's steaming. He was funny. He'd cane everyone. Your shit. He was like that 17. So somebody's like, he's chirpy as fuck. He'd left his suit jacket up the back of the bus and he's down the front, like gaying everyone a bit. So we've got his suit jacket, mate. Cut the arms off his jacket.
remember it, mate.
But when he's grabbed his jacket, because he's so steaming and he's in like, such a good mood, he's just grabbed his jacket. As we get to the front gates, the guy's like, you're going to need to put your jacket on to get in, mate. He goes to put his jacket on, mate. It's like a fucking Julie. Remember that?
Basically.
Who else was there? Was a lot of
Ricky Holmes, he was a good lad, wasn't
Good player as
having
well.
himself out, wasn't he? But
hero, mate. I've said it on here, Nicky Shorey.
oh, what a guy, mate. In terms of like someone coming in with their history and all, and what
Played for England, didn't he? Captain for England.
what you expected someone to be like compared to what just sat
Cannon.
there with his wee belly out, mate. Like just didn't give a fuck.
And he got, I had a faxes played for England. Every day had a fat wee bit. What a player, mate.
Was he some
Aye,
player?
so
I know he played for England, but was he some
Genius,
player?
mate. I played centre mid with him a couple of times. He was a left back, but we were struggling for midfielders because our captain was scared of the ball. No, he literally would do anything but get the ball, mate. But
Good cheer-
you
good
gonna take the
cheerleader,
ball,
though.
man.
A few of them out there, though.
Played centre mid, so Nicky Shorey came and played centre mid, mate. See, when you just learn from watching playing next to somebody, he was a fucking genius, mate, honestly. Wanda left foot, didn't
Aye,
he?
he did. mate.
Pat and David Conley, remember the other
Aye, that's right, mate.
because Pat called him bruv.
Bro, aye.
And David was like, don't fucking call me bruv. And Pat was like, calm down, bruv. And the two
Oh,
of them
love
had,
that,
and then, mate, remember they were nearly, Dave Conley was like 5'7", mate, played for Ireland in the
remember
World
him.
Cup, but the angriest man you have ever
mate.
met in your life, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's one of them. He started fighting in an empty house, wouldn't he? Like constantly on edge with him, weren't you? He like, but
I remember him, he was a good player as
player.
well,
What
wasn't
a
he?
player he was. He was
I had him at Sunderland as well, mate. See, I put him up there with Andy Cole, mate, his best ever finisher I've played with. Like his finishing was
mate,
a
and
joke,
training his
mate.
finishing was a joke, I
A
remember.
joke, mate. But yeah, but then Portsmouth Day
Who was the guy? Who was your gaffer then?
with a
Can't
couple,
wait,
and then Richie
Obsessed
Barker
with food
came.
being fresh. So I used to speak about
Did he?
food's fresh today, lads. Make sure you get in at 12:30. Gaff, we've just been beat 4-0 Sunday. We're not going to talk about the game now.
He was
He's a
too
great
nice,
guy, he's a
wasn't he,
great
to be
guy,
a
he's a
good guy,
great
but
You should need to see this food today, lads. Really fresh. Used to
Did you enjoy Did you enjoy? I know it means it's an unbelievable
I
club,
was
though, innit?
devastated. I'd never like. So Andy Offord was gaffer then, wasn't
That's
he?
right.
And then I ended up getting the job, and it was that day at the races, mate. He pulled me. He's like, "Listen, I want to give you a new. We're gonna because I was on loan from Bury at
That's
the
right,
time,
so you were.
and my contract was up. He was like, "I want to offer you a permanent deal and all." And he was like, "I know you're getting married in the summer. Go away, enjoy your I'll be in touch with your agent and all, mate." I'm still waiting to hear from him. Genuinely,
And you were brilliant when you came
I
in,
done
mate.
well, didn't I? I done all right.
Because
but-
your goalie before him, mate, nicest guy ever, Sully, but he had fucking bunions on his hands that Kev had on his feet, mate.
Yum
Yeah,
yums.
here. Have you seen him?
Fingers, mate. His full hands were a yum-yum, mate. Softer than a yum-yum. Anything that went in it would just fucking go.
Have
You
seen
going to
him?
save the fucking ball, or what?
Have you seen how well he's done?
He's a, mate, he's an estate agent in Las Vegas.
I'm sure he's a millionaire, mate.
Wow.
Like, you look at his lifestyle, like he's living like a millionaire anyway.
He was a hero for, wasn't he?
Aye,
Good guy, wasn't he?
Aye. But
see if you could get Portsmouth going, which it is now, like it would be the
proper good
best
club.
I played at Fratton Park, mate.
Aye, a few times, aye.
See Fratton Park, mate, I'm not just saying this like Portsmouth fans don't know what you're saying. I actually used to buzz to play it. See, playing at Fratton Park, it's one of the tunnels, mate, that you come up.
Aye.
And it's a pitch lit, and you're on the pitch, mate. I remember my first game, mate, I was thinking, this is fucking...
I was the exact same, mate. My debut was at home. First game, you're like, this is proper. That's a proper
game of football, mate,
ground.
wasn't it?
I remember saying on the podcast months ago that I've only asked for like a couple of strips in my career, and my mum, you know what my mum's like? My mum texted me like, as soon as he came out with like that, why are you lying, and sent me a picture. I asked for canoe strip when we played Portsmouth. I got canoe strip after.
Was that were you playing Portsmouth when the big players were there, were you?
Aye.
Was the atmosphere good, Andy?
Really good. I always remember Fratton Park was the first one with like the brass bands, the fucking drummers and all that shit.
The big guy with the top on,
the big fucking stupid.
Did you ever speak to him?
I spoke to him. Do you know what he is? He's an antique dealer. He's got an antique shop in
That's
Portsmouth,
right,
because I was always out with the fans steaming because I was always injured. And I met him, and his mum and dad left him that shot. He's like, the guy's like a millionaire, mate. He travelled
Big guy,
big guy, heavy guy with the bell. What is it you do with your bell?
Right, another good Billy Paynter. Was it Hartlepool you were there with, mate?
Hartlepool with Billy, yeah.
I don't know how you'd have got on with Bill, because knowing your character like
No,
Bill.
mate, I got on great.
Did you?
Do you know what, mate? And I hadn't spoke to Billy for years, but he randomly rang me about 6 months ago. And it was one of them calls we were talking about earlier, you know, when someone just rings and you're like, he's like, oh, I'm just like networking a bit, like just seeing how you are, just like, it was the most awkward. Like,
is he a coach now? He coaches or plays?
he coaches like a non-league or something, but I don't know whether he was just going through his phone one night, mate, and just thought, but at the time at Hartlepool, mate, like, what a character.
Is he
mate,
wild?
like,
It's funny.
Wild.
mate, we signed at the same time, and Ronnie Moore was the gaffer, and he took us in one of them army camps, mate, pre-season. Oh, mate, with Billy, like, that went down like a fart sandwich.
Oh,
mate.
I
He fucking
hate that, mate. He was a
hated
lazy
it,
big
like-
bastard, Bill.
Aye, he
was a lazy
mate,
big
but
bastard. For
He
being a
was
hero.
lazy, but then he had reason to moan, mate, like whenever, you know, you're doing a 5k run on friggin' army boots and bags and that, mate, it was... And then one of the things I had us doing was, you could be walking for dinner, mate, and this guy, like, sergeant or colonel, whatever he was, that was looking after us, would shout grenade, and any time he shouted grenade, mate, you had to get down the floor and like army crawl. So, mate, constantly, like, you know, not even when you were doing workouts or anything, you could be walking for breakfast, mate, like chilled out, and next thing you would just hear grenade, mate, and you had to do it, otherwise you'd have to do like a punishment or discipline.
There's no way Bill done that, was there?
Did, mate.
Did
you? You'll see the celebration, mate, about 3 games into the season, Billy scores his first goal this
does it?
season, mate, and he's on the ground like grenading, mate. That time,
How
he
do managers think this team?
I know.
I was going to say Ronnie Moore, turn that in.
Roy Keane, mate. Roy Keane talks about how he done it.
Keane took
And he
us
said it backfired. He said it backfired, kind of.
he took... Well, it wasn't an army camp we went with Keane, it was more like an orienteering trip, mate. He took us like a mad orienteering trip.
What's orienteering in the water?
No, so you were in teams, mate, and mate, he ended up nearly having the goalie coach. The goalie coach was in Keane's team, mate, and the goalie coach was a wee bit overweight, like, and he ended up killing our team, mate. And I just remember Keane barracking, mate, and the goalie coach was like, it was one of them things where you like, it was like you had to basically navigate your way, and then with this bit you had to like.
What, like a map?
Mate, we're in the Yorkshire Dales, mate, like, and it was painful.
I wonder
like.
why managers do that.
Oh,
Aye, but Keane.
But he's criticising MK Dons for playing at the back.
fair, I
And
know.
he's got his fucking
Compass.
So it's alright to do orienteering, but it's not right to pass the ball to the back. Something that they probably worked on all week.
Come on, Keno.
Come on, Keno, turn it in, son.
Short memories, eh?
Orienteering.
that's fucking brilliant.
This has been.
Would Billy Paynter get naked a lot?
Aye, mate, loved it.
He's got the biggest shoulders in the world, isn't he? His shoulders and
He's
back.
a strong
Fucking
boy.
massive, man.
We need to get him on.
He'd be a good guest, mate, Billy.
Nah, he'd be a great guy. Has he ever done any of the English podcasts now?
I think he done that. Did he do Under the Court?
I'm not sure.
No.
We need to get him on, definitely. And last wee bit, Dundee, future coaching, managing.
Definitely, mate. As I said before, I've done my B licence. Obviously, the natural progression would be the goalie coaching, mate. Like me and Foxy, Scott Fox, started our own wee
Great guy.
legend of a guy, mate. And to be fair, circumstances with me, like moving about, I've sort of had to nip it in the bud a bit. But listen, I'm one of them. I'm all in. Like, I find it hard. I envy people. Like, I look at Joe Shaughnessy, our skipper, mate. Joe's got degrees and friggin' everything, and he's able to sort of. I'm not like that, mate. For me, like, I need to be all in on something, and for me, at the minute, it's my career, and I still think next couple of years, mate, like, hopefully.
What's he got degrees in?
Maths and accountancy, and I think he's doing like a leadership one there or something, or proper smart boy, mate.
Foxy's in at Celtic Ladies, is he?
Is that where Foxy is now?
Is he not in the put a story?
Was he not at Queen? Last time I spoke to him, he was Queen's
Park.
Queen's Park. I know Mick McGovern's went there now.
I stayed with Foxy for a year, and he's dad's house.
That
Yeah.
story you told was amazing. But the one I think was it.
What? His dad was out every his dad would be out every Friday night. We'd have a game on a Saturday. Bear in mind, you're no far from the Celtic first team, mate. So you're like playing for the youth team on a Saturday, mate, and his dad would come in at like 4 a.m. Friday night, like birds, guys, and there'd be like a fucking full blown party in the house at like 4 a.m.
That's unreal.
We'd end up walking through and just sitting all night with all these women and that kicking about, and then get them play for Celtic the next day, mate. Fucking unreal.
Magic.
Foxy, great guy. Anything else you want to ask him before we go?
Best 11. Need it. Best 11 that you've ever played with.
Mate, that's a hard one, because I'd feel like horrendous throwing in boys like that I haven't been playing. I didn't play at Sunderland, mate, and the majority of the players.
You fling them in though.
Fuck it.
Fucking right.
Make yourself look good here. Just quickly, we met Lafferty in End.
Oh, mate, what a guy, man.
He's fucking brilliant, isn't
He's
he?
off his tree, mate.
Have you got any stories about him, just quickly?
Just a cannon, mate. Just like in terms of, he's one of them boys, mate. You go away for a week with Northern Ireland thinking you're getting away from the kids, lovely, like nice, relaxing. It's like having another kid, mate. He's just like, you go for a coffee with him, mate. He's like, you're always on edge, aren't you? He's always like tickling your balls or fucking flicking your. Just a big kid.
Joe Wright,
mate.
him and Joe Wright.
Nah, good guy though, mate. I think having lads like that in the dressing room, brilliant, mate.
He's told one of the best stories ever on open goal. See when were you at the Euros?
No, I missed
one
out.
of the
Me and
games
Boyce
in-
got dropped out.
The guards that had been protecting them all tournament, they're like, come, we're having a party tonight, come, and Lafferty's like, bring your guns. He says, so the two guys go home, come back and bring loads of their guns. He's like, the last thing I remember is Michael O'Neill dropped him for the last game. He says, I was steaming. He says, I got one of the rifles, went up to Michael O'Neill, put it to his head. Why'd you drop me for that?
I've heard that one, mate. That would be 100% true as well, mate. 100% true.
I've got my favourite laugh story that I can never tell in the
Oh, how
podcast.
you told us
That's the
that.
thing, mate. I've
It's
got
the best, man.
90% of them you couldn't tell me.
What about Paddy McCourt?
I was only in a couple of squads of Paddy, mate.
Was he genius in training?
Genius, mate. Like, so good with the ball. But if you had him in your team in five-os, like,
You fuck.
nah, mate.
Oh,
the
you're winning
opposite.
it.
He's genius.
Aye.
Genius.
But
I genuinely believe this. If Paddy got himself proper fit, I think he could have played top, like, English Premier League.
He was, do you know what else Paddy was on? See his passing?
That's what I'm saying. He had everything.
His
Mate.
passing was, everybody always talks about his driver because he used to, see in training, you used to see the runs, you see him scoring the goals, you used to do that in training.
I hate these arguments though, mate. If he had this, he would do that.
No, it's true.
No, but I think with
So-
fitness is, you can get,
You can get fit. Anyone can get
Yeah,
fit.
of course. But I don't know.
Can I just ask Trev, what's your highlight of your career, mate, or a couple?
My Northern Ireland debut, mate, definitely.
Great question.
Yeah.
Did you know you were starting that game, or?
Aye, mate, the fact I had to wait till 30 to get my first cap, mate, I think the oldest that, like Mike Taylor had actually held a record. It's not a great record to have, is it? But for me, it made it sweeter being 30 years. You know, I've been in squad since I was 17, 18 at Sunderland, been away, you know, these end of season South American trips for 2 weeks and not got a minute, mate. And yeah, made my debut. It was at the time I was doing well at Motherwell after it was the January the Celtic move had fell through, and I made my debut in the March. And yeah, at home, mate, the South Korea, front of, I think, about 25 of my family and friends. It was just surreal, mate. Like,
When do you know you're playing the day before? Shaping up?
nah, the week, but like,
Week of the
the start of the
week,
week, Michael told me, like, you're playing, and yeah, it was surreal, mate. Probably, I'm not one for getting nervous in games, but it's one game that sticks out, mate. It was proper heavy legged, like, I don't know what it was, well, it was the occasion, but yeah, I remember my first couple of kicks, mate. I was like Rob Douglas, as you say.
Just quickly, starter, main, dessert, we're done.
Oh, mate, I'm the most basic. I was thinking this on the way down.
You were hoping we weren't going to ask, innit?
No, not really. I'm just dirty chicken wings to start, mate. Like, big dirty burger for me, and then just a big dirty.
Trevor Carson, unbelievable.
Thanks, lad.